for Big 12 baseball as the Kansas Jayhawks pursue some history this weekend. It's two top 15 teams colliding tonight at Hoagland Ballpark in Lawrence. Good evening, everybody. Brian Haney joined, as always, by former All-Big 12 standout Kevin Wheeler. Number 15, West Virginia. Number 7, Kansas. And the Jayhawks having a truly historic season.
They've had the best season they've had in a long time. Last year was amazing, but this year, Jayhawks all the way to number 7. They've been on fire midway through the year, and these have really been the two best teams in this conference for the past 2 seasons.
Kansas hasn't won a regular season conference title in 77 years. West Virginia won one just last season, but it was a unique way to win it. They won based on win percentage. They played 2 fewer games than Kansas, who actually finished with the most Big 12 victories. And as someone who was there, it was kind of awkward because Kansas went in to Monongalia County Ballpark, swept them, and yet West Virginia still lifts the trophy on Sunday as the league's best team by percentage. What's interesting, Kevin, is you fast forward a year, the Mountaineers are trying to come into Lawrence at Hoagland Ballpark and flip the script, play the role of spoiler for KU.
Yeah, some really good memories from that game. 2 great teams. West Virginia has been to a super regional past 2 years. KU actually had more wins than West Virginia last year and already leading the league with 20 Big 12 wins, going for a career record for the Jayhawks.
Both these teams so talented, though. A ton of respect between the 2 head coaches. Here's Dan Fitzgerald sizing up this weekend's competition.
Yeah, you know, it's the Big 12 baseball. Every weekend's a gauntlet, and everyone's well coached, everyone's talented, and West Virginia is certainly no exception to that. They've got a great coaching staff, and Steve was there for a long time under Randy Macy, of course, first ballot Hall of Fame coach, and they haven't skipped a beat with Steve. He's an outstanding coach, has a great staff, super talented, and it'll be another great series.
Steve Sabins has these Mountaineers cooking with gas. The Jayhawks searching for a Big 12 title. What a weekend this could be. Kansas and West Virginia coming up next. What a gorgeous setting for college baseball and another packed house at Hoagland Ballpark on a beautiful night here. We had rain throughout batting practice for all of Kansas's session and most of West Virginia's, but now the clouds have lifted, the sun is shining, and Kansas hopes it's shining by weekend's end with a trophy raised as their magic number to clinch at least a share of the Big 12 title is 2. An outright magic number for the championship would be 3. It's a combination of Kansas wins or their competition's losses. There's a look at Steve Sabins in his 2nd season as the head coach. He was an assistant on staff for 9 years before that. And what a talented lineup they have. They hit .308 as a team. Don't hit as many home runs as some teams do, but boy, they can run a ton. A lot of very talented speedsters on the base paths, but Dominic Vegley's made a mission to not allow guys to get on base of late. He's got 2 15 strikeout performances in his last 3 Big 12 starts.
Dominic Vegley has saved his best for last in this season. He has been double-digit strikeouts in his past 3 outings, 2 of those 15 Ks, but he's the kind of guy that can really hold base runners. He has got a quick slide step, so I think the ultimate battle between good base-stealing team and a guy who can hold runners well.
Here's a look at the defense behind Dominic Vegley. Dylan Schlotterback's been excellent on the hot corner all season. That's him on your camera right there. And, of course, Tyson Owens in center field can cover a ton of ground. Augusto Mungarieta, the Kansas catcher, behind the dish, forming that battery with Vegley. Really couldn't ask for a better night for a Friday night opener. And 2 big-time arms on the mound. Yale opposite of Vegley. 2 guys that Coach Fitz will tell us later both have bright MLB futures in front of them. And here they are, locking horns on a Big 12 Friday night. First pitch swinging and fouling it off is Einish. Matthew Einish, sophomore out of South Lyon, Michigan, an Ohio transfer. .326 hitter, 4 home runs, 34 runs batted in. There's a called strike by tonight's home plate umpire, Casey Moser. First base umpire, Brandon Missoon. Mark Wagers at second. Jason Blackburn at third tonight. Vegley hunting his first K of the ball game. Misses down there. He said last week en route to 15, he had no idea he was nearing the mark he just posted 2 weeks earlier. He knew he'd piled up a few, and he paid attention to the students hanging the K banners, but he didn't know he had that many foul balls straight back. Prior to his 15 in Stillwater, he had to go all the way back to 1993 and Jimmy Walker in the NCAA tournament. So it had been 33 years between 15K performances. And then it was all of 13 days before the next one. Ball downstairs, 2-2 to Einisch, who leads the team in runs scored with 52 of them. On a very good offensive team. It wants to come in here to Lawrence and play the role of spoiler this weekend. There is strikeout number one. Ring him up, sit him down, punch out for the Dominator, Dominic Vegley. Picks up where he left off last week.
What a nice pitch right here. Showed him everything he had. Little backdoor, either changeup or slider right on the outside corner. Hard-fought battle right there, but that ball is not a strike the whole way in. Great frame job there by Augie. And saw the fans, the student section, they were cheering on the umps when they came in. I've never seen a group of umps get cheered before, but that was pretty cool. And nice job by Vegley starting right where he left off.
College kids haven't gotten the K cards out yet for the strikeouts. Wait till he gets 2 or 3, then they'll start to hang. First pitch here in for a strike. But today was stop day on the Kansas campus, so I would imagine they've been getting set for this one since about 11 a.m. Gavin Kelly up there next. 394 hitter, 10 home runs. What a talent. Outstanding catcher for these Mountaineers, and a guy that could be catching for Team USA. He got the phone call yesterday that he is the second West Virginia player invited to the Team USA clinic and camp. Called strike 1 and 2. The first guy to get that phone call might wind up the MLB National League Rookie of the Year if he keeps his current pace. J.J. Weatherholt tearing it up in the bigs with the Cardinals. The 1-2 to Kelly. Raised foul. Ugarieta couldn't quite squeeze it. One catcher gives new life to another. Vegley nears a second straight strikeout.
You mentioned J.J. Weatherholt, and that was, you think of West Virginia, that's the ultimate player right there, just a stud shortstop and one of the best all-around hitters. He could hit the ball to all parts of the ballpark, and I believe he's leading off for the Cardinals now, moved his way up the minor leagues faster than any position player.
This one roped to left, but hooking foul and harmlessly out of play. Still 1 and 2 to Kelly. Yeah, Weatherholt, you could tell en route to all the Big 12 accolades you could possibly win that he had future star written all over him at the show. But what we didn't know then is that he would form a teammate duo on the base paths and out in the field with Victor Scott, another former Mountaineer that is also with the Cardinals doing great things. The 1-2. Did he swing? He did, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Dominic Vegley. He K's Kelly, who couldn't check the swing in time.
West Virginia fouling off some tough pitches, but this is just a nasty, that's a front door breaking ball, big time spin rate on that slider, and that pitch is coming at him 90% of the way, ends up with a strike, 38 on the RPMs on the spin rate. 2,600 is good, 2,700 is amazing, big league level, and Dominic Vegley just hit over 3,000. That thing was moving and didn't break till it got to home plate. Wow.
The next offering just a bit outside to Schoenfeld. And it's show and tell for Schoenfeld this weekend because the Wichita native has upwards of 40 friends and family here.
Good.
And it was a scramble to make sure they could get enough tickets. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Had a great conversation with West Virginia's Director of Baseball Operations, Joey Cuomo, who's in his 4th season in that role, his 9th year overall with the program, former manager, does a great job for the Mountaineers. And he said, man, all of his teammates were having to give up their seats so he could fit in all his family here. So foul ball straight back. And Mr. Cuomo said, hey, Big 12 gives you 60 tickets as a visiting team. Kansas was really nice to give us 25 additionally because there's a KC area kid and a Wichita area kid, so that's a Great act of sportsmanship between the two athletic departments. But even with that, they had a hard time fitting them all in, especially because of Schoenfeld and all of his Bishop Carroll buddies that wanted to come in from Wichita. Can vaguely strike out the side. No, a foul ball straight back. Keeps Schoenfeld alive. But you think about it, while he did play at Colorado Mesa, which isn't nearly as far away as Morgantown, West Virginia, that's still a ways away. So ever since his Butler County days, this is the closest his friends and family have been from seeing him play. So upwards of 40 just for him tonight. That's just a bit outside. And that Kansas crowd that was applauding the umpiring crew with Casey Moser and company don't like him as much right now. They wanted strike 3 right there.
That was another nasty pitch. That might have fooled everybody, but really good. I think Gusto Munguerieta, he has done a fantastic job this year blocking balls, framing balls to get help with strikeouts, and we got two of the better catchers going in the conference tonight.
Swung on and missed. Down he goes, and the Dominator strikes out the side to start the game. 3 Ks already on the board for Dominic Vagley. For Major Conference College Baseball, Hoagland Ballpark, located just across the parking lot from the famous Allen Fieldhouse. This the last scheduled homestand of the year, but these fans, they've caught baseball fever. They want to host a regional and maybe even more with the way Fitzmagic has the Jayhawks cooking in 2026. There he is, the reigning Big 12 Coach of the Year. Could he be the National Coach of the Year? Dan Fitzgerald will send a familiar-looking lineup card to the bat tonight with Jordan Bach at the top. Dariel Osorio back in the 5 spot, a move he made a return to last weekend. And they'll be facing Max Yale, outstanding West Virginia southpaw, coming off Tommy John a year ago, missed all of last season, but he is electric. Look at that ERA, microscopic at 2.20.
Yeah, what a Friday night matchup we got under the lights here at Hoagland Ballpark. 2 of the best pitchers in the conference, for that matter, 2 of the best pitchers in the country. And you think about a big lefty, 6'5", 235. He's got all the pitches. He's got great control, and it's going to be one of the biggest matchup battles for the Jayhawks have faced all season long.
Here's a look at the Mountaineers defense. Starting with Einish there at shortstop on your screen. Schoenfeld, the Wichita kid in center field. Gavin Kelly, the backstop for the Mountaineers. How about Guzman at first base? How many first basemen have you seen lead their league in stolen bases? Not many.
No, West Virginia's got a great lineup, but it's kind of unusual lineup. Not a ton of home runs, but a lot of extra base hits, a ton of stolen bases, and they love to use small ball a little bit to get games going. But both teams, great defensive teams.
Jordan Bach to lead things off. 305 hitter. Senior from Ladner, British Columbia. 433 on base percentage this year. Cooled a little bit because of a down game on Tuesday night at Creighton in which he went 0 for 7. Started the week at 445 OBP. Tied up there 1-1 to Jordan Bach. And yes, he got 7 at-bats because the game was 13 innings long, over 5 hours, before ultimately the Jayhawks win streak was snapped at 10 games on a walk-off homer at Creighton by the Blue Jays. So it bends in a little bit high, 2-1 to Jordan Bach, and yet that's a distant memory now. He's flushed the results of that one, a guy that always wears a smile, always pumps you up, whether you see him in the hallways on campus or in the dugout. He wants to put smiles on these Jayhawk fans' faces tonight. Bouncer up the middle. They had it shifted and played perfectly position-wise. Einish fires across in time for out number 1.
Really nice play up the middle from Einish. Hard hit ball right there. Jordan Bach always hits that ball hard right up the middle, and I really like what Max Yale. He's got some great tilt on the ball. He reminds me of Caleb Deere, what he could become someday, a guy in the Jayhawk bullpen, but kind of the same body size, and that's who I'd have throwing BP is him. It's kind of the same look. Yeah, a really big left-hander with a tough arm slot.
Great comparison. And I'm sure Caleb Deere would love it that he was mentioned in the same sentence, no doubt. Cade Baldridge up there next. 327 hitter, first season out of Cobb County Community College, a Roth, Oklahoma native. 7 homers, 40 RBI for the switch hitter. He's done a great job at second base. He has been about as effective of a plug-and-play instant star as you could hope for. He and LeBlanc behind him. Swing and a miss here, 1-1. I mean, to have a brand new middle infield and they jump into your lineup and proceed to hit 327 and 337, battling each other for team batting crown honors. They both look like all Big 12 conference selections. Breaking ball in for a strike, 1 and 2. And on top of that, they're fishing buddies. As we told you earlier in the year, Cade caught a fish about half the size of him in the Wakarusa River. He's 5'9", 190. The fish was almost 90 pounds. There's a swing and a miss. Down he goes. And a first strikeout for Yale. And a quick start for West Virginia's ace.
Yale looking really good. He's up there working fast with some good tempo up there, ready to pitch. He went with that high, hard one, four-seam fastball that just stayed up above a good hitter's hands, and that ball's got some good ride to it. And see why he's so nasty to hit. Kind of throws across his body, doesn't give you a very long time to pick up the release point, and pretty much what every pro scout's looking for is a big lefty like this.
First pitch swinging, Tyson LeBlanc sends it skyward, second base, and hauled in there by Kresser. And that will retire the side. So may not have been in 3 strikeout fashion like Vagley, but a very impressive first inning for Max Yale. No score at the end of 1. Back-to-back Big 12 Friday nights with that traditional Friday night pitchers duel. Last week it was Vagley versus Kramkowski. Here's Coach Fitz on this week's Yale-Vagley matchup.
Well, it's, 2 guys that are going to pitch professionally for a long time, just like last Friday and a bunch of Fridays before that. So it's a great matchup. 2 very distinct pitchers, one left-handed, one right, but stuff that's different and kind of they go about it different ways. But 2 good offenses and 2 good starters going and plenty in each bullpen, so it'll be great.
It already has been 1 inning in. Vagley struck out the side to start the game. And Yale got the Jayhawks in 1-2-3 fashion, including a K of Baldridge. Last Friday night, Kramkowski and Vagley combined for 26 strikeouts. There's a called strike on Sean Smith. And as Coach said, a lot of Friday nights are still that way, but not as many as they used to be. Not, we sound like old guys saying this, but back in our day, when you were pitching, Kevin Wheeler, a couple of aces, you'd have low-scoring games. Bouncer toward third, Schlotterbeck, a long throw in time. What a play for Dylan Schlotterbeck.
Great pitch, keeping that ball down, a little bit of moving action on that, but Dylan Schlotterbeck playing deep, taking away the doubles right there. Had to deal with the sun and make a big-time throw. Showed off the hose all the way over there to first base, and he's just been a great player at the hot corner. Schlotterbeck hitting in the 9-hole really well, but defense has been fantastic all year long.
I thought last weekend versus Arizona, it just seemed like more flashes of that glove than any previous weekend. Truly one of his best defensively en route to KU's 4th home sweep in league play and 5th Big 12 sweep overall. 2 balls and no strikes to Matthew Gravlin. Left fielder hitting at .286, 5 homers, 30 RBI. Ohio State transfer bounces this one toward LeBlanc. He charges in, throws on the run in time for out number 2.
And Fitz has been talking about how hard his defense works, especially on the infield during batting practice. They're just playing it game-like, and great pitches there from Vagley, getting a couple of rollover ground balls. Defenders dealing with the sun and showing off the arm with a nice running throw. And that left side of the infield has been fantastic. Baldridge also at second, a Gold Glover last year at JUCO, and Dykoff, pretty good athlete himself, but just a great defensive infield.
Now Armani Guzman, the aforementioned Speed demon on the base paths despite his first base designation. Something you don't often see. A .295 hitter with 27 stolen bases. This one skips in, a ball and a strike to Guzman out of New York, New York. Guzman thinks it may have clipped him. Casey Moser, the home plate umpire, will talk it over. Let's take another peek. Look to bounce a good foot in front of the foot. But the entire crew will huddle up and talk it over and may take a peek.
On that play there, if the ball hits the ground first and then the foot, it's still a hit by pitch. But I think it might have popped up a little bit of dirt or whatever's out there, and it maybe felt like it got hit, or you could feel the wind coming through there. But if it did hit the ground and foot, it would be a hit by pitch. But I didn't see it hit the foot at all.
West Virginia will indeed challenge this. Now, you may have had some rubber pellets fly up and hit the foot, but that Rawlings seemed to bounce well in front and extend over the foot.
I think so. I think it bounced right over, but I do like the challenge from West Virginia because you got 2 outs, nobody on. But if you get him on with the hit by pitch, he could steal a base or two and get right into scoring position. So it could be this type of base runner. Just getting on base could be huge for West Virginia, and might not seem like much, but I do like the challenge.
Unless it's not close at all, then you wasted a challenge. But I like where your head's at. And if anything, it throws the rhythm of Dominic Vegley off, who's had a very quick work of 5 up and 5 down, including 3 punch-outs.
It's a great point. Yeah, Vegley's up there ready to pitch. He's been hitting 97, 98 with his 4-seamer, about 94, 95 with that 2-seamer. He's been going a lot of sinkers, sliders, just been nasty. All those pitches are tunneling in the same way, and then ended up in completely different places. So not every day you have your A-plus stuff, but Dominic Vegley's got it, arm feeling good tonight.
Pretty quick review. Here comes your call. No hit by pitch. 1 challenge remaining. So it'll be a wasted effort unless Vegley is now out of rhythm, because to the naked eye for us, looking at the first replay, it just didn't seem like they had much of a case. But you understand why they'd roll the dice, especially with such a good base runner in Guzman. A 1-1 here. Bounced on through, and he gets to first anyway with West Virginia's first hit of the night. Armani Guzman, a 2-out single to right field.
Really good swing, short, compact stroke. That pitch up about the chest level and able to one-hop it through that right side. Now some very good plus base runner over there on first base, looking to get into scoring position here with 2 outs.
Brody Kresser coming up next. Jessup, Iowa native. Vegley will check on the runner. Be very mindful of those 27 stolen bags. You see the Kansas defense shifting pull side, which they often do with 2 strikes on a batter. But they're doing it from the jump here with Kresser. One 1-0 to Kresser. 286 hitter. Couple of homers, 24 RBI. He's scored 22 runs this year. Des Moines Area Community College. Young man who hit a walk-off grand slam back in early March versus Columbia. It's something Dariello Soria can relate to a season ago. Now, if you're wondering about West Virginia as a team in stolen bases, 85 stolen bags as a team in 108 attempts. Kansas, 37 of 40. This one buzzes well inside. And Kevin, it's not only the threat of Guzman possibly getting to second base, but the distraction of that can certainly get in a pitcher's head. And mess with the focus that previously had been razor sharp for Vagley.
And you notice in West Virginia is not stealing as right now. Vagley is quick to home plate. He's a 1-1 at the most right now, getting it there, which hard to run on that. But you're exactly right. You have to divide your attention a little bit between the guy at first and at home. And Vagley's got to have a good job of climbing the ladder, coming all the way back and dealing with that speed. And
consequently, he falls behind 3-0 for the first time to any batter tonight. Runner goes. This one's in for a strike. The throw by Mungarieta late, and it goes into center field. And so going first to third on the play is Armani Guzman. Skipped in. You've got the setting sun to factor in as well. Cade Baldridge trying to make a quick swipe at it. Whiffed, and it goes to center field.
Great jump right there by Guzman, and that's one of the faster players in the country. He was up thinking third all the way, now just 90 feet away from taking the opening lead, third base. And great job not giving up on the inning, but with 2 outs, fighting with a hard at bat and very aggressive base running.
Breaking ball misses there, so now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Brock Wills coming up next. So the Mountaineers have something brewing here in the top of the second inning. Vagley had it on cruise control over the first 5 batters he'd faced. But after that replay review, the challenge that did not prove to be successful, 10 seconds later, you've got Guzman singling to right field. Soon thereafter, stealing second and on to third on the throw. Maybe it was a good challenge after all, just to get Vagley off of that rhythm and roll he was rocking. First pitch swinging here is Wills, and he fouls one off. The Holly Springs, North Carolina native, who's a UNC Wilmington transfer. Spent 3 years there at UNC Wilmington. Was a .300 career hitter. Last season hit .351. His first year in the Big 12, he's batting .275. Quickly down in an 0-2 hole on a pair of foul balls. Vagley in search of a 4th punch out in the first 2 innings has him in a hole.
I think you're right about that review. Just to get Vagley off, he was absolutely rolling, and right now getting back into the zone. And I like the way he's come back and flushed that last one and delivered a couple of quality pitches to a lefty.
You know, he's been pitching several times this season with a legend watching in Jimmy Walker. Tonight, there's another Jayhawk in the crowd that we'll show you later, who's got the all-time career strikeouts record that Vagley would certainly threaten if he stayed 4 years. Not that he's expected to. The pitch downstairs. Runner goes from first to second as it bounces loose of Augie. Lead runner holding, but into scoring position is Kresser. Still with 2 outs. And now a 1-2 count to Wills.
Yeah, Vagley, only one Jayhawk 3-year. Ryan Zefferjohn has more strikeouts than Dominic Vagley over career, and Vagley a chance to go after that record here tonight.
Zefferjohn now the closer for the Angels. The pitcher I'm talking about in attendance tonight, TJ Walls. The 1-2. Grounded to first. Dykhoff's got it. A sprint to the bag. He wins that race. And Don Vagley posts another 0 on the board. The Mountaineers threaten but leave 2 stranded in scoring position. No score as we head to the bottom of the second on ESPN+. No score as we head to the home half of the second inning. West Virginia certainly threatened in the top of this frame. Vagley able to get out of it. Now can Max Yale continue his role? It was 3 up and very quickly 3 down back in that bottom of the first inning. But the thing about Kansas this year is just because you get through the top of the order, or maybe even the middle of the order, doesn't mean the bottom of the order can't still get you. No weak link here at all, 1 through 9 for Kansas in 2026.
You're exactly right, Brian. They have 4 players, double-digit home runs, and 3 of those players, 6, 7, 8 in the batting order, which is pretty impressive. That kind of juice in the bat all the way through the order, and there's speed there too. So they got 2 great lineups going against each other tonight, and both these pitchers will be challenged with how well these lineups are set up.
Brady Ballinger Ball on a strike to the junior out of Las Vegas. It's senior weekend, and we'll have a lot of senior day talk on Sunday. But for the draft eligible juniors like Vagley and Ballinger, it's a special weekend perhaps for them too. And he starts this weekend off with a soft single to center. A leadoff base knock for Brady Balls. Kansas has its first hit.
And Ballinger's got a great batting average, but he even goes up against left-handed pitchers. Very rare quality for all of baseball. Nice line drive poke and over the infield. They have a dip right before the outfield. Nice job getting on base. And Ballinger gets the team going, the dugout going with energy, and pretty much all of Hogan Ballpark, the way he plays the game.
Here's one of your seniors they'll honor on Sunday, Osoria. He swings at the first pitch and laces one to left. Back-to-back base knocks by the two preseason All Big 12 picks.
Love that approach up there, ready to hit. Nice close stance, able to pick up the lefty real well. Got that foot down on time and over the infielder. Just a little bit of topspin right in front of the outfield. A couple of nice pokes to start the inning. Jayhawks with a lot of options here with how they're going to try to move runners over with one of their hotter hitters, I think, the guy who's moving his way up with the stats and the numbers, Tyson Owens.
There's his fellow Vegas native Brady Ballinger as the also Las Vegas rising star Tyson Owens digging in next. First pitch in for a strike. A couple of weeks ago, Owens, the Big 12 player and newcomer of the week. And heck, last week he still hit .333 with a pair of Sunday homers in his encore. He was awfully good. 2 on, nobody out. Big cut and a whiff. Ballinger at the bottom of your screen there as he starts to lead off. We were talking about draft eligible juniors, and he told me pregame, he said, you know what, I know this could be our last homestand here, but I want to play at least 2 more weekends at home. And he's talking about hosting a regional, maybe even a super regional. There's a roller toward the right side. They try to tag, and will they get the out? On to first. They're going to call Osoria out at second base for perhaps running outside the line. What did you see to the naked eye as we take another peek?
I did not think that was going to be a double play off the bat. Kind of soft hit ball, almost like a swinging bunt over there to that side. It took a crazy hop off of the mound, and I don't think he tagged him. I think Osoria might have came out of the baseline, but he sold it like he tagged him. They called it a double play, but I don't think the tag was made. Definitely the out was at first. It's a matter of if Dariel came out of the baseline to avoid the tag.
So Coach Fitz, hands on hips, gets an explanation. And it sure seemed like the indication was that he had run outside the baseline. It wasn't a matter of him actually getting tagged, but rather his avoidance of the tag. What did you see from that angle?
That one definitely, I don't think he got tagged, but he definitely went a little bit outside to kind of to the right side of that dirt, and I don't think they're going to have a review on that. And just a big-time double play, pitcher's best friend, right, what you need. It wasn't your typical double play, but after looking back, might have been the best play just to hold up and not try to get there. So don't get tagged for the double play, but that's just a tough base running, and can't fault him for hustling.
Heck of a play by Brody Kresser. Let's give credit where it's due. And Guzman on the receiving end just in the nick of time. So Mugarieta will try to deliver a 2-out swing. This one bounces loose of the catcher, Kelly, but not far enough to advance Brady Ballinger. For our West Virginia fans tuned in that by now should be familiar with Hoagland Ballpark, but maybe you aren't. There isn't as much real estate between home plate and the backstop here as you might find in most other Big 12 parks. So while that one didn't roll away a ton to begin with, it's pretty hard to score on a wild pitch pass ball. Foul ball straight back, unless it goes lateral to the sides. Stuff that goes straight back, it's pretty tough to score on, especially if there's a ricochet. Versus you go to some of these other parks, you got 30, 40 feet back there.
Well, you were just up at Creighton this week, and there was a ton of room. There's Augie did a great job. He blocked a lot of balls in the dirt that would have been definitely 2 bases if they get by him, and he's done a great job blocking balls this year.
Bouncer to the left side. Second baseman standing in front of Einish. Kresser will make the play and throw across in time. And so despite back-to-back leadoff singles from Ballinger and Osorio, KU gets nothing. Yale and the Mountaineers recover. No score as we head to the third. Dom Vagley has been brilliant over the last month or so of Big 12 action. A former preseason Big 12 Pitcher of the Year and freshman All-American has very much looked the part of both of those accolades now in his junior season. He's been outstanding. We mentioned the two 15K performances against Oklahoma State and also most recently Arizona. Here tonight against a 308 hitting team, he's given up one base knock, but 2 zeros on the board, and it'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Mountaineers here in the third. Hall to lead things off. Tyrus Hall out of British Columbia, just like our Ladner native in right field, Jordan Bach. His hometown, though, Victoria, British Columbia. Raises this one into the catcher's mitt, 1-1. He comes from a very athletic family. His father was drafted by the A's back in 1985 in the 28th round. Played 3 seasons with the A's and Astros organizations. And he had a brother that played college basketball up in Canada. So a very talented Hall family. But the 271 hitter finds himself down in a 1-2 hole. Vagley looking for a 4th punch-out and finds it here. Ring him up, sit him down. Strikeout number 4 for Dominic Vagley.
Big out there for Vagley. Hall, just a big-time speed guy as well. Another front door breaking ball coming right at the back hip of a good hitter, and hard to swing at that pitch when it's coming right at you. Then it breaks right over the plate. Really nice job. 29.98 on the spin rate. That is a nasty slider with a big league level spin.
Indeed it is. Einish up there next. He also struck out looking his first time up, and there's a first pitch fastball strike. Got to get 4 of those up there. So he's got 4 now. There's the 4th. They were busy last Friday night. And I'm told that you notice they were flush up against that beware of the hog sign. They're starting on the extreme right edge so they don't run out of room. They started running out of real estate in the middle of last Friday's game and had to start rearranging them. And that's a heads-up move there.
I went and talked to him before the game. I saw him down there with all those stickers of the K's. And I said, yeah, I don't know if you guys got enough K's for these 2 pitchers tonight. And he said, yeah, we ran out last week.
Fouled straight back. I mean, what is the appropriate number? You don't show up expecting to see 27 strikeouts, right?
Well, Hale averages 10.99 strikeouts per game he pitches, and Vagley, his last 3 starts have been double digits in this case. So
pretty incredible. This one lifted in the air, medium depth left field. Ballinger fighting the setting sun will make the catch. Einish now 0 for 2. And 2 outs in the inning for West Virginia.
Another great changeup there from Vagley, getting a good hitter just onto his front foot and off the barrel. Ballinger did a good job of getting to the side of that ball so he didn't have to look straight into the sun, and something Alex Gordon kind of really worked on when he got better, and Ballinger's done a nice job adjusting to left field this year.
That's a really interesting point, getting to the side of the ball so you're not looking directly into the sun. Elaborate on that as Kelly swings at the first pitch, hits it toward Jordan Bach, right field side, hooking foul though, and out of play in the bullpen.
It's something I learned actually from Alex Gordon. He was a great third baseman at Nebraska, but with the Royals got moved to left field, and he had to play a lot of games in left where he was dealing with the sun like crazy, at least at the beginning of games. And instead of staring right at the sun when it's coming, getting to the side where you're almost facing, the left fielder would face the right fielder. It would still, out of your peripheral vision, you can see the ball coming in, and you can actually catch balls without even wearing shades. I love that, and Ballinger did a great job of dealing with it. I've seen guys miss that same play, but that's something that he didn't have to worry about as much at first base, but in outfield, he's got a lot to deal with, and That's just smart baseball, not staring at the sun and getting around the ball with a couple extra steps of effort.
Gordon went on to turn in a Royals Hall of Fame career and a World Series hero. There's a ball struck very well to right center field. This one's got a chance to go at the track, at the wall. That ball is gone. Gavin Kelly, his 11th home run of the season, hits the light pole, and the Mountaineers strike first on a solo shot from Kelly.
Just a great swing right there from the catcher, Kelly. See why he could be a Team USA candidate. That pitch is on the outside corner, sinking down. Really a pitcher's pitch, and he drove it to that opposite field. Oppo bomb right off that foul pole. Big time swing to get this game going.
The light pole in right center, look out. Now, Roy Hobbs would have hit the lights in the natural, and the lights would have been exploding. Kelly not quite on Roy Hobbs' trajectory, but that's a pretty monster mash right there for his 11th blast of the year, 44th RBI. One day after he gets the Team USA phone call, he's backing it up. But Vegley quickly bouncing back himself. He puts the Wichita native in an 0-2 hole. What a season for Schoenfeld. Even with the first inning strikeout, he's still hitting .379. Vegley blows it by him. 97 on the radar gun. A 5th strikeout for Dominic Vegley. But disappointed after giving up the homer to Kelly. The Mountaineers have the game's first lead, 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Max Yale now pitching with the lead thanks to the solo bomb from Gavin Kelly. West Virginia in front 1-0. And for Kansas, it'll be 8-9-1 coming up here in the bottom of the 3rd. Jayhawks threatened last inning, back-to-back singles to start the frame. But a key 4-3 double play that featured Dariel Osorio running out of the baseline thwarted the Kansas rally. Yale got out of it. Now the Jayhawks will try to start up a new one with Josh Dykoff. Dykoff really on a heater of late. He's climbed his home run total up to 11 and his batting average now north of 300 at 301. He homered again on Tuesday night at Creighton. A 6th inning solo shot. Bad news is that was the last run the Jayhawks got all night. The last time any Jayhawk even touched second base. For the first time all year, they blew a lead after the 6th inning. Bouncer through the hole right side. Stay hot, Josh Dykoff. A leadoff single has Dykoff aboard.
Great job by Dykoff getting himself into a good hitter's 2-0 count. Got a pitch out over the middle and drove it to that right side. He hit almost 2 out at Creighton, which is a hard place where the College World Series is played to get a ball out of that park. But he hit a no-doubter and one off the top of the wall. He's swinging well and really picking it up with his average. Hit left-handed pitching very well. Doing a great job in the 8-hole.
Now Dylan Schlotterbeck up there next. Batting at .291 for the junior out of Lakeway, Texas. 3 homers, 29 RBI. His on-base percentage, .408. Number back to the mound. The throw to first in time, but they successfully moved Dykoff up to second. The Jayhawks have a threat brewing here in the 3rd.
And that's what Fitz was talking about. Get him on and try to get him over, get him in. Great execution right there. Deadening the ball from Schlotterbeck. It kind of went right back to the pitcher. Not the best angle, but good job deadening it and making sure that lead runner can advance into scoring position. Jayhawks with a chance to clutch up and tie this ball game back up.
Sack bunt has Dykoff in scoring position for Jordan Bach. Bach grounded to short his first time up. 1-0 to Bach here. Owner of 6 home runs this season, 38 runs batted in. 2-0 now. The other thing about Bach, talk about the counting stats of homers and ribbies and batting average, but the reason why his on-base percentage is so impressive, he's been the best in the league all year in drawing walks. 44 of them. Tops of the Big 12, number 17 nationally. Big swing and a miss there, though. 2-1. Describe, if you could, what a left-hand hitter's looking at when the big, tall lefty is throwing it across your body on a breaking ball to the outer half of the plate.
The only thing I can think of is Randy Johnson versus John Kruk in the All-Star game, and how you get a big lefty going from low three-quarters, and Kruk was a great hitter, but he couldn't even stand in there. He turned his helmet around backwards because he was like had no chance. But that's exactly why I started as switch hitting, was because of pitchers like this. As a lefty, they're so tough to see until late. He almost feels like he's putting the ball right into the home plate. Was his release point, so being able to switch hit really helped me out.
Bouncer hit to the right side, a throw low but in time to get Bach. Great play by Kresser there. Dykhoff moves 90 feet away. But another plus play defensively by the Mountaineers, has 2 outs now in the inning.
Good job there by Jordan Bach, just getting the ball put into play and moving that base runner up 90 feet. Now with 2 outs, only 90 feet away, try to score this run. And probably not the easiest at bat. I don't even know how to explain it. It's if you normally get a split second to see the ball, with those type of lefty-lefty matchups, it's even less.
Foul ball by Cade Baldridge, the one strikeout victim here tonight. Yale entered with 70 Ks on the year, compared to just 17 walks. Outstanding numbers. He's yielded 3 hits through the first trip through the order. Only 1 swing and miss strikeout, and that was Baldridge back in the first. Cutting a whiff there. And he quickly finds himself down 0-2.
Baldridge moving over to the right side of the plate. He's getting some really good hard four-seam fastballs up around that belt level and higher, and not able to catch up right there, but just a solid switch hitter.
Another fastball strike, 95 on the gun. Both Ks today from Yale have been at Baldridge's expense. Jayhawks leave a man stranded 90 feet away. It's a 1-0 Mountaineer lead in Lawrence. Welcome back to Hoagland Ballpark. A 1-0 score. West Virginia leading Kansas in a matchup of 2 top 15 teams. We go inside the Kansas dugout and talk with the reigning Big 12 Coach of the Year, Dan Fitzgerald. Man, this is college baseball at its best, Coach. 2 top 15 teams. It kind of feels like a regional already, and obviously your club wants to host one in a few weeks, but just tell me about the setting for what should be a great weekend all weekend long.
Yeah, 2 really good ball clubs. Obviously tonight, 2 aces going at it, and both guys are pitching real well. Kelly got a nice swing off on Dom's changeup, and we've had leadoff guys on the last 2 innings. We just got to cash it in. So great ball game and a lot left.
To elaborate on Vagley, beyond the 1 homer, he's got 5 strikeouts, struck out the side to start the game. What's been most effective for him early?
Well, I think both fastballs are working, both breaking balls are great. It's a tough lineup with they switch back and forth, right and left, so he's got to pitch to both sides of the plate and
fly ball here, deep center field. Owens drifting back, leaps and almost makes the grab, but it bounces back toward the infield, and we're going to see a leadoff triple here by Sean Smith. Boy, tremendous effort in center field. Truly a game of inches. Owens almost had it, Coach. How did you see that one? And tell me about Owens' ability in center.
Yeah, he did a nice job of finding the wall, and that's a tough play. Obviously, you're getting a replay of it right there, but he found the wall, and great effort, and he's a great center fielder. Those are really tough plays. I bet he makes that one next year.
No doubt. Coach, before we let you go, I love the comment you had in the pregame radio interview when you were asked about how this group stays locked in and the lights are never too bright. You had a great line about culture and how when you're worried about the guy to your right and to your left, you don't worry about the lights. Can you elaborate on that? Because you've been playing in a lot of bright light games of late.
Well, yeah, I think when your focus is on other people and specifically the people around you and your teammates, you don't have a whole lot of time to think about yourself and your own feelings and maybe what you need in that very second. And these guys have done a fantastic job as a team since August of really buying into, not thinking less of themselves, but thinking about themselves less. And my staff does a fantastic job of modeling that. And they have each other's backs, and there's just a lot of outward focus on each other, which makes it a whole lot of fun to be around.
I'm glad you mentioned your staff because those types of attributes of an individual and a team are all about culture, and it starts at the top. Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck the rest of the way tonight.
Thanks, guys. Rock Chalk.
Dan Fitzgerald joining us, as he always does, in the fourth inning. Kansas trailing 1-0. West Virginia threatening for more here. Vaguely trying to get a strikeout, but looks like Gravlin held the swing. Did not cut all the way through. 2-2 now to West Virginia's left fielder, Matthew Gravlin. It's been a fun season of these in-game interviews with both coaches on each side all throughout the home schedule. I want to thank all of the Big 12 coaches that have joined us throughout the year, and we'll get a chance to talk with Coach Saban's next inning. It's always awkward when something bad happens in the middle of the interview, but they always handle it with so much grace and class, and Fitz obviously tops the list there. Swung on and missed. Down goes Gravlin. It's a 6th strikeout for Dominic Vagley.
Yeah, I like what Fitz said about he's going to catch that ball next year, and that's just a great attitude, and that's what Vagley did after giving up a hit, going right back after that next hitter. It shows a lot about a pitcher, how they react to something, and now he's going to try to battle and get out of here without minimize the damage as much as possible. So he's got the great stuff tonight, some of the highest spin rates on his 2 curveballs that we've seen all season long.
Called strike to Guzman, who was the first Mountaineer to collect a base hit off of Vagley, a single back in the second inning. 3 total hits in the ball game for West Virginia. They lead at 1-0 and looking for more. This will get the run home. What a stab by Baldridge. The throw not in time. A brilliant snow cone dive, but Guzman beats it out, and Smith able to score the run regardless. 2-0 West Virginia.
Another great at-bat there by Guzman. It looked like a base hit all the way, and Baldridge has some tremendous range at second base. He is one of the best second basemen in the conference defensively, but that speed was able to get him there, and now be looking to move up into scoring position once again. That was a fantastic play by Baldridge. That snow cone and the quick play, but I like the execution by West Virginia, getting the ball in play and hitting it hard.
Runner goes, and a soft single to right field. We're going to see Guzman take off from first to third. His first pitch swinging was Kresser, and he gets his first hit of the night.
That's a perfectly executed hit and run right here. You got base runner going. That whole right side of the infield is open, and he just stayed inside the ball, drove it that way. No doubter hit and able to move first to third, but that's a good way of stealing some bases when you got hitters who can protect a bit back, hit that back door just like that, and really good baseball here. They have some options with speed at the corners.
Augusto Mungarieta comes out for some words of encouragement for Dominic Vagley. 3 hits now in the inning for West Virginia, a 2-0 lead. Kansas, one of the best comeback teams in America this year. Won't bat an eye at that, but you'd like to limit the damage to just a single run. And right now there's a ton of speed at third in Guzman. Brock Wills looking to put the ball in play to bring him on down. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's in for a strike.
A little safety squeeze action right there. Don't have to show it too early, but just able to get down, and that would bring in a run and move a runner into scoring position with not a big high-risk play.
one misses, 1-1, and the pitch count right now at 63. Last week, of course, famously, Vagley went the full distance, all 27 outs, his first career complete game. His 4th consecutive quality start and 6th of the season. Turning in an all Big 12 campaign, no doubt. But tonight, as good as he's been with all the punch-outs, of which he's got 6, a couple of runs on the board here early, and the Mountaineers threatening for a 3rd here in the 4th. Runner goes, little delayed steal. Now they're coming home with it. LeBlanc's throw, tag applied. Safe is the call. Guzman gets in underneath Mungarieta. And the ever-aggressive Mountaineers, with the delayed double steal, take a 3-0 lead, but we may get a replay review on this one.
Wow, a lot of action going on right here, and a nice job on the delay steal going, and then KU cutting it off a little bit early. LeBlanc with a great throw home and took out Augie at home plate with head first dive right into that back leg. Hopefully he's all right there. That's a tough play when your foot's planted and runner goes right into that. That's just a hard-nosed play. Augie's been one of as tough as it gets all year long, but that was that's tough when you don't you have a foot planted and a runner going right into it.
Jeff Roberts, the team trainer in his 2nd season, out to have a talk and a look over with Augusto Mungarieta. It will indeed be a challenged play here, and they'll take a look at were the extended hands of Guzman on the head-first slide all the way to home plate before that tag of the collapsing Mungarieta came down on top of it. Bang, bang at its truest definition. It appeared he got in first, and that was the call on the field. But as they slow it down frame by frame, and we'll eventually show it to you, does Augie and his Jayhawk teammates have a case here? Good hard throw by LeBlanc. Came in high, obviously, but he had to act quickly. The rifle home. Right now, our camera crew is helping the umpires take a second look. We'll show you the replay once they announce their ruling. KU loses the challenge as the run-scoring play is confirmed. Each team with 1 challenge remaining. Here's another look.
Bang, bang play at home plate, and these are the plays that really determine a game. That's as close as it gets. And Augie did a great job hanging in there. Just tremendous effort by Guzman getting around the bases and being physical there at home plate.
So a 2nd run in the inning scores, now 3-0, and they're not done yet. They've got a runner in scoring position at 2nd. Wills thinking RBI single now. And it's been a 3-hit inning already for the Mountaineers. Wills grounded at first his first time up. Now hitting .273 on the year. Big swing and a miss there to run the count full.
Think about how West Virginia's done it. They've stolen bases, had a delay steal, double steal, safety squeeze chance, and
this one struck well to left. Ballinger fighting the sun, drifting back, raises up and makes the catch. Tracks it down on the base of the warning track. Long and loud for out number 2, but Wills is retired, and Brady Balls has this crowd fired up.
Really good catch and good distance ran from a far left field, took away a ball in the gap, and looked like extra base hits right there. Looked like they were going to trade places with each other. Ballinger running it down. 2 really good plays out there and left already to that one take away extra base hit.
Bouncer to third, Schlotterbeck gets it on his knee. The throw in time, and quick work of Tyrus Hall will retire the side. But 2 big Mountaineer runs on 3 hits, including the leadoff triple. And Coach Saban's team now has a 3-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th. West Virginia leading 3-0. KU baseball, fun for all ages in 2026. I know that young man. He comes to Hawk Talk. Get this, his name, this is a true story, Styles Wiles. Is that an awesome name or what? He'll be there on Monday, the next Dan Fitzgerald Hawk Talk, Monday night at 6 o'clock at the 23rd Street Brewery. He knows we're talking about him. Hey, Styles. What's up, buddy? What will the topic be on Monday night? Will we be talking about Coach Fitz and his team clinching their first ever Big 12 regular season title? Or will West Virginia come in here and spoil the party like Kansas attempted to do last year when the Jayhawks swept the Mountaineers? They still wound up clinching based on action around the rest of the league, winning the Big 12 in 2025 on win percentage, even though Kansas had more Big 12 victories, and swept the Mountaineers there in West Virginia. They're trying to return the favor 1 year later, and 3.5 innings in, West Virginia off to a tremendous start. Yale delivers a first pitch breaking ball strike to Tyson LeBlanc. For you Mountaineer fans tuning in and hearing that name for the first time, perhaps, the C is silent. It's a French Cajun pronunciation. Tyson LeBlanc. He swings here and pops it up right side. First baseman Guzman going out will circle and make the catch. That's a big out of KU's best bat, who's now 0 for 2.
There's an example right there, a really athletic first baseman who can move, and a lot of second basemen or right fielders would have to come make that play, but good job by Guzman, who's having himself a nice game already. Made a tough play on a ball that started foul and came all the way back in fair. Would have been a double if it fell.
Now Brady Ballinger. .296 hitter to start the series, but he's up to .299 now after a leadoff single in the second. Things were looking promising for Kansas after Ballinger and Osorio singled back-to-back. But a double play, 4-3 in your scorebook, turned the tide on that entire inning. A tag play in which Osorio was ruled running outside the baseline. And the throw on to first in time to retire Owens as well. At that point, it was a scoreless tie, and you felt like Kansas might take the game's first lead. They didn't, and it's been nothing but West Virginia ever since. Bouncer to the right side. Kresser's got it. And a quick flip in time for out number 2. 2 up and 2 quickly down with Osorio coming up next.
That's a great call, and don't get many opportunities with a guy. That opportunity don't get much on a guy like Max Yale, a guy who's already had a couple of shutouts on this season, and it's looking like he's going to have another strong performance. But every at-bat matters, every base matters, and going against aces, it's just a game that's going to be low scoring and tough to get anything with this kind of velocity coming in from both sides of the mound.
Dariel Osorio up there next, 1 for 1 tonight. Osorio finally came back down to planet Earth last weekend after just a torrid couple of weeks prior. Called strike 1-1. Osorio in the Arizona series was 1 of 7. He did walk 4 times though, so it's not like he wasn't getting on. Still had a couple of ribbies. The previous weekend he had 9 RBI at K-State. The weekend before that he hit a go-ahead game-winning grand slam in Stillwater on a 5 RBI day at OSU. So he has been really cooking with his offensive numbers on the climb. 3 weeks ago, he was hitting 195. He's currently all the way up to 247.
He's been hot. He did great against K-State, and I think the season turned around with his 3-homer day at Texas Tech. That game, from that game on, Jayhawks have been on fire, and what he did on that Sunday was really a turning point in this Jayhawk season.
Since then, the Hawks have won 27 of 31 games. They've been incredible. 2-2 the count to Dariel Osorio here with nobody on base, 2 outs in the inning. Mountaineers with a 3-0 lead. Kansas looking for yet another come-from-behind victory. Now 3-2 to the Bronx, New York native.
Good at bat right here. And Yale only has 44 pitches, almost through 4 innings, and Daryl Osoria battling 3-2 count. Drew, I don't know about that. It looks like he called him out for not being in the batter's box, but
Coach Fitz will come out and have a word. And Osoria is so frustrated. We don't have an angle to show you the pitch clock there, but wow, this inning ends in a surprisingly disappointing fashion for Kansas. We'll take it to the bottom of the 4th with the Jayhawks now trailing 3-0 in West Virginia, walking tall as we enter the middle innings. Beautiful night for Big 12 baseball, but the home crowd doesn't think the scoreboard's very pretty. 3-0 West Virginia leads, and this crowd of close to 2,500 kind of sitting in stunned silence right now. But their team has 24 come-from-behind victories this year. And a year ago, they had a star player named Jackson Hauge, who was credited with quoting the line, "The never say die Hawks." And that mentality has carried over even post-Hauge. All the guys that were his teammates taught that mindset to the current crop of Jayhawks. And they feel like they're always in every game no matter what. And so it's just a 3-0 deficit, but they need something to put a charge back into this park, and a pitch clock violation on the batter, something you almost never see. Happened at the end of that 4th inning, which kind of led to a lifeless feel here. Kansas trying to get this fan base back on its feet as they all showed up hoping to see history here this weekend. KU 2 wins away from at least a share of its first ever Big 12 regular season title. So the batter violation, just to clear it up, if you're not in the box and alert to the pitcher with at least 5 seconds remaining on a 20-second pitch clock, it's an automatic strike, and he had 2 strikes on him, so he was out at that point. We were trying to get you a camera angle that showed the pitch clock at the time it was signaled. It seemed like maybe there was 6 on it, but in this case, Casey Mosier thought pitch clock violation, and in a very surprising and very rare to see fashion, Osoria just had to walk back to the dugout with the bat slumped over his shoulder in disbelief. Meanwhile, Einish in the top of the order due up for West Virginia here in the 5th as they try to add to this 3-0 advantage.
Osoria has been in a couple of, with that double play out there at second going around, and then at home with that, I have a couple of plays you don't see very much at all. Fitz talk about dealing with adversity and having good body language even if you get a bad call, and that's a part of the team where they can still grow, is being able to shake that off and knowing there's going to be some bad calls, and that's just the way it goes. I didn't know about that rule, and I thought he was in there at 6, but that was something you don't see every day at baseball.
Swung on and missed. Einish goes down for a 2nd time tonight. Dominic Vegley continues to deal. 7 strikeouts on the board for Vegley.
Just painting the black right there. 96 with some great 2-seam movement, going away from a left-handed batter. That's a nasty pitch. Big-time sinker from Vegley, and that is a big-time velocity for how much that ball moves. You've seen why he has been dominant and well on his way to go after that double-digit strikeout again today.
Next pitch off the end of the bat of Kelly. High fly ball to Ballinger and left. Camps underneath to make the catch. Kelly, who had the solo homer to start the scoring, this time flies out to left.
Now batting for West Virginia, center fielder.
Just love the good vibes all the time, 24/7 with Brady Ballinger. That smile, that strut, you'd think his team was up 10-0 right now. And it's contagious, infectious. The guys feed off of it. And so do the fans. Talking about getting the energy back in Hoagland Ballpark. That's the guy that can light the fuse and create the spark that ignites 2,500 here tonight. Schoenfeld will huddle up with Coach Sabins, who will join us next inning, by the way. Actually, later this inning, in the bottom of the fifth, we'll have a chance to hear from Steve Sabins in his second season as the head coach after assisting Randy Mazey for 9 years. Outstanding rising star in the college coaching ranks. He had some words of encouragement to the Wichita native who's got all those friends and family on hand. Does that get you fired up, or sometimes is that pressure? I suppose it's different strokes for different folks. 1-1 here to Schoenfeld. What was it like for you on days when you had more family than normal seeing you play?
Oh, it is definitely a lot of pressure, but it's a great feeling too. I remember pitching here on a Friday night just like this against University of Texas, and seeing my family in the crowd with a great crowd, and it meant so much and makes you feel comfortable having that. And I think he would love guys around here don't get to see him play that much, and able to see him play in a big-time college baseball atmosphere. It's awesome, and I do love what Coach Sabins has done with this team since he's become coach. These guys are feeling good, right? That's a good view right in front of Allen Fieldhouse, but they probably at the basketball games and everything too. But he's got his own cheering section up there, and I love it. It can be a little extra pressure, but pressure's kind of a privilege. You get games like this, it's an honor to have some pressure.
3-2, he's run the count full, has Schoenfeld. Previously, a couple of strikeouts. One of his family members so nervous she can't even watch right now. Doesn't want to see 3 straight strikeouts, so she's just going to wait and listen to the crowd's reaction. We'll let you listen as well. Swing and a miss, down he goes. An 8th strikeout for Dominic Vegley. Time to get the bats going here in Lawrence. The home team trailing by 3. Coach Sabins will join us when we come back. (3-0) West Virginia as we bring you back to Hoagland Ballpark in Lawrence. The Mountaineers with a solo homer from Gavin Kelly. A 2-run rally in the 4th. Have a 3-0 lead on 7th-ranked Kansas. Second-year head coach Steve Sabins joins us now live for the Mountaineers dugout. Coach, thanks for the time as always. We appreciate it. Congrats on the hot start to the game. What have you been more pleased with, Yale on the mound or getting 3 runs off a red-hot Dominic Vegley?
Yeah, Vegley's tremendous. He's been really good all year, and so our guys have strung some competitive at-bats together and had some timely hitting, and Yale's been tremendous. He's pounding the zone with good stuff, and when he's in the zone, he's tough to hit.
Let's take you back to your batter's approach against Vegley. What is the key against a guy like that? And obviously he's got 8 Ks, so he has been somewhat effective, but how do you attack a pitcher who's had 30 Ks in 2 of his last 3 starts combined?
I think you're just doing the best you can, right? You're trying not to chase that slider down. You're trying to be on the fastball when he throws it. You're trying to make good swing decisions, but said every coach in history, don't chase the slider down. Well, when it's disgusting, that's a more difficult thing to accomplish. So we're doing our best against a really good pitcher. He's pitching his butt off, and is certainly the ace for this Kansas team.
Now Kansas trying to solve Yale. How proud of him have you been this season, coming off of Tommy John and coming back to amazing form, a microscopic ERA at 2? Another strikeout to boot.
He's exceptional. That kid has been so good, and for him to overcome surgery and choose to come back to school, he had pro opportunities. He was as good. Could have signed pro, even though he didn't pitch his junior year. He's just a high-end prospect. He's a really, really good teammate. He's a good competitor, and so couldn't be more proud of him because he chose to come back here on a mission. And I think that sends a really, really loud message to the entire team that that guy wanted to be here and leads our team, man. He's been tremendous, and to see the growth. His sophomore year, he never started a game. So the first time he threw 3 innings this season was the longest appearance of his college career. So now, you know, clipping off long outings and starts is just real growth, man. To be able to see that kid make that kind of jump is the most rewarding thing for a coach.
Just now gets to the 50 pitch mark tonight, so he's been efficient as well. Let me close with this, and I asked you this off camera earlier, but for our listeners here in your own words, obviously we came to know and respect Randy Mazey a ton, and you were with him for 9 years. What about the way you lead these Mountaineers is the same, and what has been your own thumbprint or stamp on this thing now 2 years deep?
Yeah, Mays is the best. He gave me an opportunity when I was 27 years old with no recruiting experience, so put a ton of faith in me and a ton of trust in me, and I'll forever be grateful for that. That guy's one of the best X's and O's coaches ever. He really understands the game. He understands what's going on from a pitching side, a hitting side, a base running side. And so as a young dude showing up in Morgantown, West Virginia, I just learned so much from him from the X's and O's side. So we were a good team. We went after it for 9 straight seasons and got to build this thing together. So for me, this has kind of been my life's work at West Virginia, is building this thing and watching kids grow and compete for championships. So don't have enough good things to say about Mays.
What's unique to you, though?
I'll let you guys figure that out. I don't know if I'm that unique, man. Just go to work every day and try to get the team good.
Well, it's working. Congrats on 2 great seasons so far, and thanks for the time.
Thanks, guys.
Steve Saban's joining us, obviously very humble. And much like every coach in this league, we always say this, we sound like a broken record. Coach Fitz really likes him, and he really likes Coach Fitz. A ton of respect back and forth. Here's a swing and a miss by Augusto Mungarieta, and that's now 3 consecutive strikeouts for Yale, who's gaining steam. One of those was on the pitch clock violation by the batter, but strikeout nonetheless. Now 5 in the ballgame.
He's shown everything tonight, upwards 95, 96, sometimes on the fastball. That nasty breaking ball at 86 miles an hour. I love his low 3/4 arm slot, and just a perfect pitcher up there. He's looks tough and a really tough angle. He's doing a great job of keeping these good hitters, not too many pitches per at bat, and keeping his pitch count to where he's thinking about going this whole game. And like Coach Saban said, he's really developed that this season, going with 3 innings, his biggest outing, to now trying to finish games.
Dykhoff rips one to right. That's going to get down. He will slam on the brakes and settle for a single. But another multi-hit game for Dykhoff, who's homered in 4 of his last 9. And as I said, all the numbers surging right now for Dykhoff.
Great swing on a little bit of a hanging breaking ball. Was able to stay on it with that front shoulder. Great line drive approach, and I love the good turn there to try to get to second base, but the good decision, Coach Coyne, to keep him there at first and try to keep this inning going. And Dykhoff heating up. Another 300 hitter with double-digit home runs in this Jayhawk order.
The Minnesota Crookston star turned Jayhawk first baseman is really peaking when it matters most, but rolling it over on the first pitch behind him is Schlotterback. And they take the short throw to the top of the diamond to retire the side. 5 innings in the books. West Virginia leading in Lawrence 3-0 on ESPN+.
Took the long way.
Welcome back to Hoagland Ballpark. Relish, a rare victory. Wins this one by a couple of dog legs. We got 11 total wins on the year for Cashup in first place, 6 for Relish, high fives all around. Mustard, rough year for Mustard. Rebuilding year for Mustard, only 3 wins with 2 home games to go. Your hot dog race standings at Hoagland Ballpark. The standings in the Big 12 look a lot better for the local 9. Kansas with a 4-game lead, trailing tonight. Sean Smith, though, checks his swing into a roller back to Vegley for a quick out. Jayhawks' magic number to clinch at least a share would be 2. 2 wins this weekend of their own, or 1 win and a loss by Arizona State. You've got a 4-game lead on the Mountaineers and the Sun Devils to start the night. But West Virginia, they're thinking, man, we can make some serious ground up if we come into Lawrence and do what Kansas did to us a year ago. But they would need a sweep here to jump back into the league race with 1 weekend to go. They're off to a nice start at 3-0. Of course, Arizona State, so we'll update you on them later. They play later tonight. It's going to be one of those weird weekends of scoreboard watching and some action that will very much determine Big 12 standings and potential Big 12 clinchings happening when we're off the air, when those games are being played out in Tempe. Graveline sees a quick 0-2 count pile up against him. Sun Devils, a team that Kansas will not have to play on this year's Big 12 slate, but maybe they'll meet up in surprise at the Big 12 Conference Tournament. They're hosting Oklahoma State this weekend. And that action will start up at 8:30 Central Time tonight and 8:30 Central Time tomorrow night. Swing and a miss, and down goes Graveline. Dominic Vagley continuing to put on a show, piling up strikeouts with now 9 in the ball game.
Great two-strike pitch right there. He started that slider right on the outside corner, 3,066 RPMs on that spin rate. Went on the outside corner for most of the way there and ended up about a foot outside. Hard to lay off that pitch and impossible to hit.
Now Guzman, 2 for 2 tonight, a pair of singles. He has an RBI and a run as well. Batting average up to 304 now. He began the night sub 300 at 295. Jayhawks being held in check, and this is something Kansas fans aren't used to seeing, because not only have they been shut out for the first 5 tonight, they were stymied over the last 6 innings on Tuesday night in a 13-inning affair at Creighton. So this feels like a real dry spell for a Kansas team that was averaging over 9 runs a game, winning 27 of 30 heading into the week. It'll nubber into the opposite side of the shift, and that's going to be an infield single, especially with all that speed of Guzman. 3 for 3 for Armani Guzman.
Guzman did a great job of staying inside the ball and really taking advantage of that shift. He just hit it right to a normal shortstop, and that's a definite base hit all day long. He's got 3 hits today, 2 stolen bases, and he's up to, I believe, 29 stolen bases on the year. Just a weapon, not only with the bat, but with his legs as well.
Now Kresser. He's been on base twice tonight, a walk and a single. Vaguely nearing 90 pitches. I thought that check swing roller back to the mound by Smith to start the inning might get him back to closer on track, but he'll finish this frame at least at 90 and likely above. 1 week after going the distance versus Arizona. Now, we referenced it's been 4 consecutive quality starts for Dom Vagley. By definition, a quality start is at least 6 innings pitched and 3 earned runs or fewer. If he gets another out here, he'll make it 5 consecutive quality starts and 7 on the season. But he won't be happy at all if his team's trailing by 3 as he nears the end of his rope.
And Vagley, I believe, just went by Ryan Zefferjohn for 3rd all-time in KU history for strikeouts for a career, and that'd be the most for a 3-year player. The 2 guys sitting at 1 and 2, both 4-year pitchers. So we're seeing some records going down tonight, and Vagley, he's competing and matching every pitch from Yale. 2 aces, like Fitz said, going at each other.
Top of the zone, called strike there. 2-1 to Kresser.
Kresser had a great at-bat. I thought turned the game last at-bat, hit that backside hit and run action to get the 1st and 3rd, and just a scrappy player. He can play short, second, whatever the Mountaineers need. Does a good job handling the bat.
3-1 the count to Kresser, the Mountaineers' second baseman. Vaguely very mindful of Guzman. And really, Vaguely's laboring tonight, let's put that word on it, all began the first time Guzman got on base. And just the fly in the ointment that the threat of speed like Guzman has can really get you out of your rhythm. And there's a walk by Vaguely, a rare one, just his 2nd walk tonight. Both his walks have been to Kresser when Guzman has been on board at first base, and he's been worried about that speed. The league leader in swipes. And I just think that was kind of what got him off kilter, because prior to that, he had been 5 up and 5 down, striking out the side. I say off kilter, he's still 1 out away from a quality start. But he was dominant last week and started this outing dominating as well. But the threat of speed can certainly get in your head. Foul ball by Wills, 0-1.
That's a great point, and those were the toughest lineups to have to face. Guys that can swing the bat with authority, with some power, but guys who can run the bases. It divides a pitcher's attention big time for a lefty out there at second base, but for a righty when there's runners on first base, and have to give a lot of attention to a guy that's right up there with the league lead in stolen bases for the league this year.
This one bounces in. Mugarieta's throw skips towards Schlotterbeck. A good block on the one hopper there by Dillon. Both runners advance, and now a 2-out base knock by Wills could really break this thing open.
Really good read there with 2 outs, and you don't have much time to decide on that. At third base, you're either out by a mile or safe by a mile. That was a close play. I love the aggressiveness with 2 outs. He saw the ball angle down. He just took off right then, and instead of seeing the ball get away just a slight bit, he was already gone and treated it like a stolen base once he saw the down angle of the slider.
Brandon Scott will come out to have a word with his staff ace. Talked about the pitcher whisperer and how effective he almost always is in getting his guy to calm down and find the zone right after these mound visits. In this case, as he nears 100 pitches, he's probably got another inning in him, but you'd like to at least get out of this frame down only 3, knowing how potent the offense typically is, though Yale has had their number tonight. It will be the top of the order for Kansas due up in the bottom of the 6th. Coach Scott doing what he can to keep Vegley and Kansas within just 3.
I like that mound visit right there from Coach Scott. He does a great job of positive reinforcement and just knowing that he's the guy you want out there. You're out there for a reason. And Dom Vegley, crucial spot here in this game, whether he can minimize the damage or if West Virginia take a commanding lead.
2-1 now to Wills. Now 3-1. Should Wills extend the inning, Tyrus Hall would be up next. Wills is 0 for 2 tonight, though he struck it very well his last time up there. On a ball caught by Brady Ballinger on the warning track in left field. The 3-1. Beautiful bender there, in for a strike. 3-2.
That's what I like the most about Dominic Vegley. He can throw any pitch, anytime. The 3-1 fastball count, he goes with that nasty backdoor slider. Unhittable pitch.
Swung on and missed. Another double-digit strikeout performance by the Dominator, Dominic Vegley. 10 Ks on the board for Dom.
That's that high heater right there from Vegley, double digit once again.
Three to nothing West Virginia as we head to the home half of the 6th inning. Those Ks have not been updated. It's stop day on the University of Kansas campus. You can't expect the students to be especially sharp today. He actually has 3 more strikeouts than that, 10 in the ball game. But they're kind of mailing it in because they got finals next week. And today's about cheering on the first place Jayhawks, celebrating the end of the semester. Maybe they only brought 7, but he's got 10. And Vegley, heading into the year, 10 was a career high. In the last month and a half, it's become almost the expectation. Multiple 10 strikeout games, multiple 15 strikeout games for Dom Vegley. The problem is Yale isn't giving up any runs. It's time for the Kansas offense to get going. Jordan Bach trying to rally them here in the 6th. First pitch swinging, lifts it toward the gap in left center. Down for a hit. It bounces to the base of the warning track. Jordan Bach, a leadoff stand-up double Bust out those moves, JB. What a start for Kansas.
Really good swing, staying on it, tucks that right shoulder in, just a sweet swing to the opposite field gap, getting into scoring position is Jordan Bach. Great job, and he got this crowd going. This crowd got him going. I love what the energy from the dugout, Bach, and he's got the moves on second.
He's got dance moves, he's got a double, he's got a K-ring from earlier today, the Kansas K Club honoring 6 Jayhawk veterans. They get their Letterman jackets soon as well, but he was so fired up to own that ring, even though he's only been here a matter of months. This place means something to him. That's Bach on the left of the picture, Cannon Carr there as well. And Luke Marbach, the director of baseball operations, represented Coach Fitz as he was locked in on this series today. And Marbach gave a very impressive address, turning to face the 6 guys behind him instead of the 400 in the crowd. I loved it. Now the crowd is reignited. Can Cade Baldridge get some redemption and revenge? He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. And now 2-0 as this Kansas crowd is starting to get on Max Yale. Oh, what a difference one runner in scoring position can make. This place was library quiet the last couple of innings, but now they've come alive. And West Virginia needs to huddle up and talk it over.
Stop day here in Lawrence, Kansas, but it's start night tonight for a Big 12 baseball and Friday Night Lights. The crowd is just fired up, ready to go. Pretty special weekend. This day is one of my favorites. Walking down the hill for graduation is one of my favorites. And Bach has said he's been to a lot of different places and played the 5 years of college baseball, and this is the tightest group he's ever been around, with the way they get along, go fishing, everything together. And I think the crowd, the whole city is rallied around that.
More on that in a second, but first the 2-0 to Cade Baldridge. 3-0. Back to Bach. He's just such a fun-loving guy who has made the most of his 9 months on the Kansas campus. I asked him a couple weeks ago, is there any part of you that wishes you would have had more than less than a year here? He said, yes, but I'm grateful for each day with these guys, and it's okay that I only got a year. Let's just make it the best year ever. So well said. That was a called strike. 3-1 as the crowd groans in the direction of Casey Moser. But isn't that mature? And yes, he's a grad senior, you expect maturity, but I thought, what a great mindset.
I love that. He wouldn't give up anything he's gone through. A lot of times you have to go through failure in baseball to deal with success. And
there's ball 4. Kansas finally has a threat brewing here. Their best chance to score since the 2nd inning. 2 on, nobody out, and their best hitter in numerous categories digging in next, Tyson LeBlanc. Mound visit time for West Virginia. Max Yale facing adversity of which he's only seen once earlier tonight.
You brought up a good point earlier. Coming up this inning, Jayhawks had a leadoff 1-2-3 coming up, 3rd time through seeing him, and Yale, not a guy that for his career goes a long way. Tonight he's going a long way in this season. He's been going deep into ball games. So another spot here for the Jayhawks with guys on 1st and 2nd. Try to move them over whatever they can. Tyson LeBlanc, one of the best hitters, 15 home runs on the team, but he's one of the best bunters as well. He practices so hard in between batting practice on that, so he's a weapon, short game and long game.
Tonight, he seemed a little amped, and some eager swings have led the pop-ups to 2nd and to 1st. What will he deliver here with the crowd on its feet? Everybody's standing. First pitch swinging, hits it to 3rd. They go to 2nd for 1, and that's it. A bobble by Hall, but he recovers to get the outs of Baldridge. But again, LeBlanc swinging early, this time kept it down, but right to the hot corner.
Really nice play over there by Tyrus Hall. He had to play in to guard against that bunt. He was inside the baseline and a hard hit ball. Great job of focusing, staying with it, and getting it out right there. Good aggressive base running by the Jayhawks to get into a 1st and 3rd situation where they still have some good options, but nice play over there. That could have been a double play, but it also could have been no outs. A good concentration and never easy play at 3rd base.
Now Brady Ballinger. 1-0. This, the type of moment you kind of feel like Ballinger was born for. Built for spots just like this. Most popular player on this roster the last 2 years, absolute fan favorite, preseason All-American. Can he be the guy that sparks the Hawks? Big cut and a whiff. 1-1 to Brady Balls. He's been on base once tonight with a single back in the second. It's really been coming alive in the month of April and early May. The numbers have been on the climb, really ever since the Stillwater series. He doubled and homered in the Saturday action there for his first homer since the end of March, and ever since, he's kind of got that All-American swag back. What does he have up his sleeve next? Lifted in the air, left field, deep enough to score the run. His fellow left fielder Gravlin will make the catch. Bach coming on down the line will slide in safe, and it's a sac fly RBI for Brady Ballinger, and Kansas on the board. Tagging and taking second base was LeBlanc. Ballinger with a good piece of hitting to get the job done and get Kansas finally in the run column.
Really good job of knocking in your free throws right there. Ballinger getting a nice sac fly, deep hit ball. Bach with that leadoff double on the lefty-lefty matchup. Showed some great hustle scoring on a head-first dive. Had some close plays at home plate that have been really a difference in this game so far. Jayhawks are having a great inning with competitive at-bats and forcing a tough ace like Yale to work here with pitching with guys in scoring position.
Osorio, first pitch swinging, fouls it straight back. 3-1 West Virginia. Kansas wants more here in the sixth. Osorio singled his first time up. Called strike here, has him down 0-2. His out in his second AB, one of very bizarre nature. A pitch clock violation by the batter. Hardly ever see that call. The 0-2 to Dariel. Lifted foul, first base side. Osorio hits .231 with runners in scoring position, .255 with 2 outs in an inning. In his 2-year Kansas career, he has certainly shown the clutch gene on numerous occasions. Can he show it again right here? Bouncer up the middle. Strong peg in time made by Kresser. And the Jayhawks will play just one here in the sixth. But that one opens the door for potentially a 25th comeback win. 3-1 though, the Mountaineers continue to lead. Ryan Ritter coming on for Kansas. It's yet another quality start for Dominic Vegley, but he leaves trailing by 2, and Ritter will take over the reins here in the 7th. Trying to keep Kansas within 2 and get those bats right back up there. Ritter's been outstanding in his first Jayhawk season. You see the numbers right there. What's impressed you the most?
Well, 5-1 coming out of the bullpen. He was a starter last year as a freshman at St. Thomas. He's come to KU and done a great job. He leads the team in appearances, throws mid-90s on his fastballs, got great off-speed as well. But like the way he's built, put together, he looks like a big league pitcher, and try to keep this game right where it's at and try to salvage a win out of the bullpen like a lot of the Jayhawks have done this year. Ritter with some big-time stuff and possible Friday night type pitcher coming up next season.
Coach Fitz has certainly hinted at that. But first this season, can he pitch him all the way deep into June? One of the key components in a bolstered Kansas bullpen that is as deep as I've seen it in 20 years covering this program. Tyrus Hall up there leading things off opposite of Ritter. Finds himself down in an 0-2 hole. Three to 1 West Virginia. Mountaineers have threatened in 4 of the first 6 innings, scoring in the 3rd and 4th, but this impressive offensive team has made life difficult on the Jayhawks really ever since the 2nd frame. They were mowed down in the 1st inning, but boy, did they ever rally and regroup since. And there's a big fly toward right field. Going back is Bach, looks up, leaps. That ball is gone. A home run for Tyrus Hall, his 4th of the year. And the Mountaineers claim that run right back. A 3-run lead once more.
A great swing right there from Tyrus Hall. He got a ball about belt level, stayed inside it, and hit it with some authority to that opposite field. Hips and hands, got some good power there. Good effort by Bach going over that College World Series sign, but 2 Oppo bombs for the Mountaineers, 1 out of the 2-hole and 1 out of the 9-hole. Really good swings and no doubter to the opposite field.
4-1 West Virginia. As we go back to the top of the order, and Einish. If I would have told you that Einish and Schoenfeld were a combined 0 for 6 with 5 Ks entering the latter innings, you'd probably think it was Kansas with the 3-run lead and not the other way around. 2 of the biggest stars offensively on this team, the other being Gavin Kelly, obviously. Kansas has held them in check, but everybody else putting the pressure on the first-place Jayhawks. Here's a grounder to first. Dykhoff's got it, no problem. 1 out in the West Virginia 7th.
Nice response from Ryan Ritter right there after giving up the home run, pound the strike zone with 3 straight strikes and come right after it, use that good defense, and still a 3-run game. A lot of game left here in the 7th. Good job by Ritter coming in, and he's got his good live arm once again, living 94-95 with that moving fastball.
Gavin Kelly up there next. His solo homer in the 3rd was his 11th of the year. 1 for 3. Having one of the best weeks of his young baseball life. Gets the Team USA call yesterday and homers today at number 7 Kansas. Former 6A state player of the year in the state of Pennsylvania. And on the Big 12 all-freshman team a year ago. He just keeps pinning new chapters to his very interesting baseball story. There's another one right there. Laces this one out to left center. A slam on the brakes and slip, but it's a multi-hit game for Gavin Kelly. 2 hits already in the inning off of Ritter.
Another good swing by Kelly. Stays back. He really stays closed on the ball. And looked like a gapper off the bat. Good job by Owens cutting that off and keeping a good runner on first base, and double play still in order.
Schoenfeld coming up next. The Wichita native has had a forgettable start to the night. As you can see right there with the 3 strikeouts, but it's a long weekend. And with those 30 or 40 friends and family on hand, he'll have plenty of chances to put on a show. The most important thing is his team is winning right now. He can add to that lead with a big swing here. Showed you his family section earlier, and previously on the 3rd strikeout, she couldn't bear to watch. Was facing Allen Fieldhouse instead of watching at the bat. He's going to give mom, dad, and any other sibling or family member in the stands tonight something to look upon with pride, I'm sure, before the weekend is over. Big swing and a miss here, 2-1. He's had a monster season. Started the night at 381. 485 on base percentage. Two and 1 count to Schoenfeld, but first a check of Kelly. Of all the base stealers on this very speedy and talented West Virginia team, Kelly surprisingly inefficient, 3 of 9. And yet they keep running because that's the name of the game. 3-1 now as that one misses down. Schoenfeld looking to find his way on for the first time tonight. Schoenfeld currently with a 7-game hitting streak. As long as this season has been 14 games. He bounces this one toward Baldridge to second for one, on to first with a bobble, and not in time. But a fielder's choice ground out by Schoenfeld puts 2 outs on the board as Kelly is erased. Almost had the twin killing.
Yeah, almost pitcher's best friend right there, and just a really good 90 by Schoenfeld getting down the line. Felt good for him to just get the ball put into play and keep the inning going. Nice pitch by Ritter with that power sinker. Looked like a double play off the bat. And West Virginia doing a nice job with 2 outs, keeping innings going with competitive at-bats and looking to add on here with runners on the corners.
In terms of speed, Schoenfeld, one of the very best as well. 20 of 25 on the base pass this season, so Ritter will be smart to be mindful of him. And maybe that's how he can put his imprint offensively on this game. You get on the fielder's choice, but maybe 2 outs in the inning, chance to turn it loose and rack up a 21st stolen bag of the year. West Virginia has out-hit Kansas 8-5, and they lead where it matters most, 4-1. Sean Smith was a catalyst in the 4th inning. He had a triple to start the frame. Just above the jumping grab attempt by Owens in straightaway center field. On to that puppy, that's important. Schoenfeld with those 20 swipes is one of 3 Mountaineer base runners with at least 15 stolen bags this season. Big reason why they've got those 85 as a team. And this one gets loose of Ungarieta, and Schoenfeld can take second on his own with ease on a wild pitch by Ritter.
Release point just got away from Ritter a little bit, and that's a tough one to block for Augie. So much spin on it and in the other batter's box. And nice job by West Virginia getting into scoring position. They've had a couple of a hit and run, a delay, double steal, and a lot of balls moved up in the dirt without even seeing if it gets by the catcher. They're just taking off when they see that down angle and treating that like a stolen base.
Indeed they are. So effective on the base passes, West Virginia. Here's an into the bat roller towards Schlotterbeck. His throw in time, and that will retire the side. But a solo shot by Tyrus Hall, his 4th big fly of the season, gets that 3-run lead right back for the Mountaineers. It is 4-1 West Virginia, stretch time in Lawrence. 4-1 West Virginia as we bring you back to Hoagland Ballpark. Dominic Vagley tonight pitched a quality start, but not much run support, and the Kansas ace left the game with 10 strikeouts, giving him now 263 on his career. Still shy of that man, TJ Walls, the all-time career record holder. TJ with 307 Ks from 2008 to 2011. He's here with 3 of his 5 kids. Yeah, he's got a lot of kids and Ks, does TJ Walls. Playing the role of dad of late, but back in the day, that guy could fill it up. Omaha, Nebraska native like you, Kevin, and we'll see if Vagley can catch him. It would take a run all the way to Omaha to keep him doing it in a 3-year career. Walls's was over the course of 4 seasons. But Vagley now with 263 Ks moves ahead of Ryan Zefferjohn for the most Ks ever in a 3-year career. And he's now 3 shy of Frank Duncan for 2nd all-time on the career list as Tyson Owens leads things off.
That's so great to see a lot of the Jayhawks back, and the alumni so thrilled with what Fitz and the program have become in the last couple of years, especially this year. It's been so much fun to watch, and that's great to see. TJ, great pitcher from Omaha Skutt, and came to KU just in a dominating 4-year career. Pitched a lot of Friday nights, and one of the best curveballs I've ever seen, and a guy that I know Coach Price, one of the best arms, him and Zephyr-John, 2 of the best arms he's ever coached.
A little squib shot back to Yale. He handles it with ease, and a quick out of Tyson Owens keeps Yale's run rolling. It's great to have TJ back tonight. I reference he's with 3 of his kids. That's Jude, Mary, and Luke. To the left of Walls there. 3 of the Fab 5 in the Walls family. So whether it's punch outs or his sons and daughters, when TJ does something, he does it big. Family of 5, and they're having fun, even with the local 9 trailing 4-1. Augusto Mungarieta. First pitch swinging, the shift was on, and he went the opposite way, and that will roll for a while. Augie into first. He's got himself a 1-out single. And his first hit of the night, he's 1 for 3.
Great piece of hitting from Augie. That's an inside pitch that he stayed inside out, beat the shift that was open on the right side. Another guy getting on for the Jayhawks, try to get him over and get him in. But Augie, he beat Nebraska at Nebraska earlier this year on 2 swings just like that, poked it through that right side, and he's a guy that can really hit from gap to gap and pole to pole.
Well, this might just be KU's hottest hitter, Josh Dykoff, digging in next. Homers in 4 of his last 9 games, and already tonight a pair of singles. He homered at Charles Schwab Field on Tuesday in the Creighton game. That was the 6th inning homer. Since then, the Jayhawks have mustered just 1 run in their last 13 innings. But can he be the guy that gets their offensive swag back here in the bottom of the 7th? At 8-6 lead they blew at Creighton was their first lead blown after the 6th inning in 31 games of that scenario. Previously 30-0 when leading after 6. And it's just kind of stuck with him a little bit. Now Yale's had a lot to do with that. He's been outstanding. But we're not used to seeing Kansas with 1 run on the board in the 7th inning this year. Chase is there and goes down swinging. He knew it right away. Tantalizing pitch fools him for strikeout and out number 2 of the inning.
Just a wipeout slider, 90 miles an hour. That ball was, I'd say, more of a cutter than a slider with how fast that came in. 90 miles an hour and still 2,800 on the spin rate. Nasty pitcher's pitch with 2 strikes, and that's as tough as it gets. That ball has a lot of movement and velocity still here in the 7th inning. Yale looking pretty good on his pitch count.
Now Schlotterbeck. Dillon is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt tonight. His ground out was a fielder's choice back in the 5th. Currently hitting at .289. And a 2-0 count. You know, Jayhawks back in the 6th inning were able to draw the walk after the Bach double. But other than that, Yale has been so sharp. And Kansas, who normally does such a great job of working long counts and finding their way on base via walks and plunks, you're not seeing that tonight. 1 walk, no hit by pitches out of Max Yale. And these opportunistic Jayhawks just haven't had those extra chances at base runners. Foul ball off the foot of Schlotterbeck, 2-2.
That's a great point, and the Jayhawks have done such a great job these last 2 years of getting that base on ball. They get some hit by pitches too, but getting that extra guy, and West Virginia is not giving them anything tonight. They're playing good defense. They're filling up the strike zone, and Jayhawks are going to have to earn everything they get. Schlotterbeck's the kind of guy, he started a 4-run, real well against Utah to get the team going. 4 guys hit a home run in the 9th to get it going, and you talked about Jackson Hauge, never say die. That's why Dykoff came here. He's got guys like that to get this kind of Fitzmagic stuff going.
I'm glad you brought that up. There may be some Kansas fans tuned in that have hopped on the bandwagon maybe in the last few weeks and don't know that in the Houston series they had go-ahead homers in the 8th inning all 3 games. The 2-2 popped foul. In the Utah series, there was that 4-home run 9th inning. Yes, 4 home runs in the 9th inning to come back and win that one. Kansas is 12-0 at home in league play, and a good chunk of those wins have required some late inning drama and some major moxie in crunch time out of these Kansas Jayhawks that have won 24 games in comeback fashion. There's a high fly ball to medium depth right. Trotting in to make the catch and end the inning is Wills. And tip the cap to Max Yale. That's 7 innings of 1-run ball, 6 Ks against the number 7 team in the country. And he will take a 4-1 lead to the 8th in Lawrence. 4-1 Mountaineers. West Virginia in search of a big-time signature win on a Friday night at number 7 Kansas. Toby Scheidt coming on. An outstanding addition to the Kansas bullpen this season. Didn't necessarily have his best stuff in the midweek, but a chance to flush that quickly here tonight. Keep this a 3-run ball game and get the bats back up there with the top of the order due up in the bottom of the 8th. It's Toby's job to keep it a 4-1 game.
Yes, he is, and Toby's an ultimate competitor. He's up there ready to pitch. He's got a low 3/4, almost sidearm arm slot, but he's a competitor. He'll go right at you, and everything he throws has tremendous movement.
Showing bunt, pulling it back is Gravlin. That one's in there for a strike. If you were a hitting coach and you were preparing your hitter to face the arm angles, the movement of these pitches, what would you say? How would you describe it on the way to attack it?
For a guy like Toby Scheidt, he throws a slider that looks more like a Frisbee. So I'd say throw some Frisbees at him or something. Okay. But his ball actually goes up and then down. It does a lot of different things coming in. And he's been 94 miles an hour from a sidearm, which is incredibly good velocity with someone with that little arm action. But left-handed hitter would be able to see it a little bit longer. But he's got great movement, and both pitches he throws, the sinker and slider, they look alike coming in, and they end up on different sides of the plate.
It is quite the challenge, especially when you're seeing it for the first time. The 0-2, well outside, wow. Movement on that pitch. Now, Creighton got a couple of runs off of him on Tuesday in an inning and 2/3 of 3-hit, 2-run relief. He did have a couple of Ks. There's also a hit batter in there. By and large, he's been outstanding for Kansas and begins that late game trio a lot of nights where you go Scheidt, Ritter, Ray. Manning West, there's so many other talented options Brandon Scott and Coach Fitz can turn to here in 2026.
You're absolutely right. A guy like Fink, all kinds of guys out there in the bullpen, and I think that's the strength of this team. Toby Scheidt, one of them. He's a guy that's been really successful this year, and I love the way he pitches with some enthusiasm. And he gets a strikeout, he's fired up, and he's getting his team fired up. A lot of times he can bring some energy and really help the team get going that next half inning.
Gravlin trying to jumpstart another rally. Checks his swing there to run the count full. Can't say enough good things about West Virginia's approach tonight. They've got an outstanding start from Yale. They seized control of the game early, and they've kept Kansas in check throughout, trying to return the favor to what Kansas did to them when they were having their clinching weekend a year ago. There's ball 4. And a 7-pitch walk to Gravlin to start up Toby Scheidt's line tonight.
Good eye there with 2 strikes from Gravlin. Took a couple of tough sliders on the outside corner and was able to stay back and lay off some strikeout pitches. And really good job by West Virginia getting guys on base. And everyone in their order, they have more threats than others, but they got speed all the way through their order. And Guzman's having himself a really nice night. Nice play defensively, stole bases, and already 3 hits, having himself a great start to this weekend.
As you said, 3 singles. Had the RBI base knock in the 4th. A speed demon, he has been outstanding And the toughest out for Kansas to go after tonight, ever elusive Armani Guzman. He's down here 0-2. Toby Scheidt trying to log a big out right here, get this crowd re-engaged and get his offense back up there in the 8th. Pop foul, still 0-2.
Toby Scheidt has that sinker that can really induce a lot of ground balls as well. Would love to get a ground ball to start a double play, but I'd say Guzman from the left side of the plate, one of the tougher guys to double up in the country.
Big swing and a miss, and finally in the 8th inning, Kansas solves Guzman. First time he's made it out all night.
There's that frisbee slider. It starts outside, comes all the way back to that back knee. Really good swing, but even better pitch. Took a lot of velocity off right there. 86 there, and it went a totally different way. Nice pitch and a good job recovering after that walk for Scheidt, getting right back into the strike zone.
Now Kresser up next. Go inside. So Guzman finally makes it out, but he's now reached base safely in 12 straight games and hit safely in 7 straight. Certainly he's going to have a chance at some Big 12 accolades when you got the type of stolen base stats he has and other numbers also on the clock. It's that time of year where you start to think about what that all-conference team is going to look like. Plenty of candidates on both sides strutting their stuff and showing what they've got here in Lawrence, Kansas all weekend long. Make plans to join us if you're here locally. Saturday and Sunday, 2 o'clock and 11 a.m. respectively. Or just tune in on ESPN Plus. We'll have all the calls for you right here. The 1-1 to Brody Kresser. First, a throw to first. Back safely is Gravlin, who's 5 of 7 on the base pass this season. Sunday game, Senior Day, Mother's Day, all kinds of things could be at stake. West Virginia's trying to win on a Friday and climb back in this league race. If they hold up with this 4-1 lead, they would be down 3 with 5 games to go, 2 of which against the team they're chasing. Tonight was critical for Coach Saban's team, and so far, they have executed that script to a T. 2-2 now to Kresser.
You're exactly right, and I think if it wasn't for Coach Fitz, Coach Saban's probably would have been the Coach of the Year in the Big 12 with his first year winning the conference. And he asked us to find something about him. I think coach third base. You don't see a lot of coaches coaching out there at third anymore, but they always have plays on, and kind of cool to see that.
Soft shot to center. Can Owens break in on it? He will. Now he fakes the throw and just settles for the 1 out. The great speed in center for Tyson Owens, and Kresser is retired.
Soft hit line drive, kind of a flare, just a little bit out onto the front foot, but a great read by Tyson Owens. That's a tough play when the ball's hit right at you. It's hard to know how hard it's hit. If you can come in and take away plays, we saw it from Derek Serta last year. He'd take away so many base hits playing shallow, kind of like Andrew Jones, taking away all those little ones. And it's tough because that means you got to go back on a lot of balls, which is tough to do. But Owens is going to be a good one here for the Jayhawks for a long time.
Will's up there next. Yeah, Owens just a sophomore. They're so excited about his future. 4-1 Mountaineers. Top of the 8th inning. Scheidt trying to work around a leadoff walk. 2-0 here to Wills. He was 0 for 3, but did give one a ride back in the 4th inning. The Ballinger tracked down on the base of the warning track in left center. Now 3-0. Again, due up for the Jayhawks in the bottom of this inning will be the top of the order. Bach, Baldridge, and LeBlanc. If they're going to make their move, you would think it's coming soon. It'll have to be. There's a strike. 3-1 now to Wills. Now 3-2, the count runs full. Toby Scheidt, a transfer from Bryant, went to the same high school in Columbia, Missouri as former Jayhawk national champion basketball player DeJuan Harris. Rockbridge.
Is that same as Christian Brown also, or?
No, CB was Blue Valley Northwest.
Okay.
They were on the same AAU team. CB would not like it that you thought he was from Columbia. You're just thinking about CB and DeJuan as a tandem. I get it. I get it. The 3-2 to Wills. Runner goes, and it hits him. Did he lean in? Scheidt pleading his case. Dan Fitzgerald will come out. We'll see if we can show you another look. He just stood his ground. What'd you see?
Yeah, he definitely didn't try to get out of the way, and he kept that arm out there, but I don't think he leaned into it. But I've seen Cade Baldridge this year get called out on that same play where he doesn't get out of the way and they call him out. So we'll see on that one. I think he have maybe a little bit of a point. And with Toby Scheidt, his ball moves so much, it's hard to tell where it's going. But it would be a huge review for the Jayhawks if they could get that. I've seen guys get called out on that. He didn't exactly lean into it, but he didn't make any kind of effort to get out of the way. And don't really blame him with the way that thing's coming in. It's hard to react that quickly.
So Mungarieta comes out to talk with Scheidt. And our crew right now is assisting the umpires with the call, so I can't give you the visuals on this, but Augie getting to have his parents with him for the last few days of a 2-week trip to the United States for the Venezuelan natives, Augusto Sr. and Annabelle. And they were here initially for the Wichita State game last Tuesday. Kansas won. Saw the sweep of Arizona, 4-0 at that point. Then they drove up to Omaha to finally see a setback, unfortunately. But Augusto Sr. told me, we plan to make another trip to Omaha, maybe in 5 weeks. Here comes your call. Hit by pitch confirmed. KU's out of challenges. So I had to talk to Augusto Sr. via the Google Translate app because I speak English, he speaks Spanish. We can make hand signals all we want, but to have a real conversation, we had to talk on the Google Translate that his lovely wife busted out for us. And I said, did you go to Creighton? And he responded back very emphatically through the app, yes, I went to Omaha and I plan to go again. and he said it with a big smile and some gusto from Augusto Sr. Here we are on Google Translate. We had a great time. We went to Omaha. I hope to return for the World Series in Omaha. I love it. And they are so proud of their son, as they should be. He has had a phenomenal season for Kansas. He is such a great teammate. Beacon of positivity in that dugout. He's tough as nails behind the plate. They've raised one heck of a son. And as this ball gets loose of Augie on that big breaker there from Scheidt, we'll see runners go to second and third. Just to wrap it up, we like our Venezuelan catchers around here. Salvador Perez is going to be a future Hall of Famer in Cooperstown for the Royals. And Augusto Mungarieta has been a great one for Kansas this season. But now West Virginia, the chance to really get some separation in the latter innings. 1-1 count to Hall, who homered his last time up. Base knock here could plate a couple. Great location for a called second strike.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to see what this Jayhawks team has been able to accomplish. The whole state of Kansas is going wild for the team, but not only Kansas, Venezuela, France, all over, Omaha, everywhere. There's a lot of Columbia, Missouri. There's a lot of places rooting for the Jayhawks right now, and Fitz has put a great team together from all over the world.
He has indeed. He and John Coyne have been hard at work, as has the rest of this staff, assembling one of the best baseball rosters in school history. A 2-2 to Tyrus Hall. Line to right, Bach running in, raises and makes the catch. Jordan Bach with a big snag in right field. And Kansas will head back to the dugout down 3, but hoping for more Fitz magic in the latter innings. Top of the order comes up when we come back. 4-1 West Virginia in this top 15 head-to-head at Hoagland Ballpark tonight. Kansas in search of a couple of wins this weekend to claim at least a share of their first regular season conference championship since 1949, but they need some Fitz magic in the latter innings. After all, they had go-ahead homers 3 times over in the Houston series at home. They had 9th inning homers 4 times over in one frame versus Utah. They have done it before. They believe no deficit is too big. No opponent lead is safe. And just as Bach was about to dig in to face Yale, Fitzmagic summons him over. Is this icing the pitcher a little bit? Is that a tactic move here by Dan Fitzgerald? And what do you suppose he's saying to Jordan Bach, the leadoff man?
Well, you've been right on it tonight. When good aces get going, they like to roll. And if you can break up that rhythm at all, we'd love to do it. Fitz has had a lot of success with these, as LSU did last year, but with these offensive meetings, getting the team together and getting a good approach. Now will be the 4th time through on a guy that's nasty, one of the best pitchers in the conference. And like Coach Saban said on the draft boards, he's going to be a top guy as well. So we're seeing some great baseball tonight. West Virginia has played fantastic, almost perfect baseball. The crowd, Jayhawks, are hanging in there and trying to win it late.
Yale going deep into this one. That's his 90th pitch, and it misses for a ball. We referenced the uncommon denominator. Most Kansas wins feature, but this Jayhawk deficit in the 8th is not many free passes tonight. Just 1 walk allowed all ball game by Yale. Kansas typically so selective. They get their way on, they drive their way home. Not many free passes, just 1 all night by Yale. 2-1 now to Bach, who leads the Big 12 and is 17th nationally in drawing walks. He doubled his last time up, 1 for 3. But the perfect way to get him off his rocker, talking about Yale, get him out of this groove, a laborious leadoff walk with the pitch count mounting near 100. Instead, big fly to right. Back on the track is Wills, and he will make the catch just shy of it. Bach saw something to drive, but just missed it. And it's a long and loud first out of the Kansas 8. Yale now 7 1/3 deep.
Jordan Bach making a fantastic play last half inning out and right on a hard hit line drive. He gets robbed this at bat with another great hard hit ball. Stayed up in the air just a little bit, hung up and hit it hard, but West Virginia playing some good defense. They got some speed in the outfield and able to run the balls down around the line and in the gaps.
First pitch swinging is Cade Baldridge. And a fastball at 92 blown right by him. He's had Cade's number a couple of times tonight with swing and miss stuff. Yale has now matched the longest outing he's had since mid-March. Now his season long is 8 innings. That was at Baylor. Swing and a miss. Since then, 7 1/3 at Texas Tech has been his longest. Previous start was just 5 innings versus K-State, 2 innings versus Houston, 4 versus UCF. Pitching deep into the night here in Lawrence. He's got Baldridge in an 0-2 hole. Now 1-2 as the pitch count creeps near 100. In terms of pitch count, Texas Tech game I referenced in Lubbock, he threw 112 offerings. Baylor start, he went 108. There's a called third strike. 3 Ks in the ball game by Baldridge. You rarely ever see that. Yale continues his domination.
It's a great job getting a good hitter to change his eye level with that high fastball, and then followed it with the breaking ball in the outside corner. Both pitches looked like the high fastball coming in, and that was about 8 miles an hour slower. Great pitch, and 2 good pitches that look alike that end up way different places and way different speeds.
First pitch to LeBlanc, hit foul straight back. These Jayhawks were just hotter than the face of the sun heading into the week, and on Monday received their highest ranking in school history, as high as 7th. But a loss midweek at Creighton and trailing here tonight, 2 outs deep in the 8th, 4-1. Trying to avoid their first consecutive losses since way back on March 25th and March 27th. Sac State and at Cincinnati. Bouncer foul, third base side. We were running out of ways to describe just how hot they were. 21 of 22, 10 in a row. One of 4 schools in America with 2 double-digit win streaks. But baseball's a funny sport, and it can come to a screeching halt mighty quick. Good news is you typically can get right back up the next day. There's a foul ball straight back. Better news is with a team like Kansas, you're never out of it, and you still got 4 outs to go tonight where they could still pull this one out of the fire. But the point is, for a team that was averaging over 9 runs a game over a 7-week sample size, they've been held to 1 tonight and just 1 run in their last 15 innings going back to the middle of the Creighton game. And there's a fly toward right. It's got some carry, but not enough. Drifting back to make the catch is Schoenfeld. And we will head to the 9th with 15th ranked West Virginia continuing to lead 4-1. I'll tell you about the new Kansas pitcher when we return. Bodie Ray, ace of the Kansas bullpen, coming on for the Jayhawks, trailing 4-1, the pride of Marion, Iowa. He's had an outstanding Jayhawk debut campaign, a 4.15 ERA, 5-1 his record, 7 saves as well. In so many different roles, he has been outstanding for Kansas. What's the secret to his success?
He's just a totally different look from guys who pitch before him. He comes straight over the top. He's got a great curveball, but one of the best changeups on the team. His high fastball and that changeup look identical coming in, and really good tilt on the ball with that over-the-top arm slot. He's the ultimate competitor, and ever since he stepped on campus, he's been a team leader. He's going to be an engineer someday, really smart kid, and unbelievable guy with competitive nature at the end of games.
Yeah, total ace in the classroom as well. Straight A student pursuing a civil engineering degree. Just a delight to talk to. The Kirkwood Community College transfer has been a rock star addition on and off the field and in that clubhouse as well. Back to the top of the order, though. Einish, Kelly, and Schoenfeld due up for West Virginia. Quiet night by Einish's standards. He's 0 for 4. Started the day at 326. There's a strike called, 2-1. Kansas trying to keep this thing within striking distance and then hope that the middle of the lineup, Ballinger, Osoria, and Owens, can jumpstart a 9th inning rally. This one just misses down, 3-1 now.
Doing good, Silvac. Right there. Come on. Holy cow.
And a 5-pitch walk.
It is a little bit of a different situation for Bodie Ray. Usually when he's coming in, it's a huge, big, high leverage spot where he's trying to hold the game down. And now with the Jayhawks down 3 runs, he's just trying to keep them right there. So a little bit different mentality coming out there, but he's going to find his release point, and he's does a good job when he keeps that ball down. He can induce ground balls and really get the strikeout.
Now Gavin Kelly. And a first pitch breaking ball striker. Changeup, beg your pardon, in there for strike one to Kelly, who's got a 2-hit day today. Solo homer in the third, single in the seventh. Backing up that Team USA selection for the invitation he got yesterday. Second Mountaineer to get that phone call. J.J. Weatherholt being the first. That's pretty good company. The former number 7 pick in the draft of the St. Louis Cardinals. High and away here. 2-1 to Gavin Kelly.
You talk about the all-conference type players, and I think Gavin Kelly right up there for that. He's almost batting 400 now on the year with double-digit home runs, batting in the 2-hole, and doing a great job behind the plate.
2-2 now. Yeah, completely agree. He's been outstanding. There's so many just absolute class of the conference type talents that we're going to get to see over the next 3 days here. Up and down these two teams that are duking it out with Arizona State and UCF for Big 12 supremacy. Arizona State getting underway about 15 minutes ago with Oklahoma State. We're keeping a watchful eye on that series all weekend as well. Count runs full to Kelly. Base hit here would move him to 400 on the season. Bouncer to Schlotterbeck. Waits, fires, and gets his man. Runner does advance, though. Einish into second. But a nice play by Schlotterbeck for out number 1.
Good baseball all the way around. Good job by Bodie Ray coming back, and Schlotterbeck sitting back and making that good throw. But I love what West Virginia did, getting that guy, good base runner in motion, and now the runner in scoring position. And I think that's an easy double play ball without that stolen base.
That'll bring up Schoenfeld. This one bounces in. Mugarieta holds the runner at seconds. Einish. Schoenfeld on base once tonight, reaching on a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. But having an outstanding season otherwise. Average currently rests at 372. 38 runs batted in. A couple of homers. Former Colorado Mesa star. This one just missed apparently. 1-0, now 2-0. As the crowd groans in the direction of Casey Mosier. Another great turnout by the Kansas faithful tonight. Strong West Virginia contingent as well. High fly ball. Third base side, 3 Jayhawks converge, and LeBlanc, the shortstop, hauls it in for the second out of the Mountaineer ninth.
Good pitch right there, and just missed that ball. Hit it straight up in the air, but was right on the barrel. I like that from LeBlanc coming over there. He's got a lot better angle to make that catch and took priority and made a good call. And Jayhawks trying to keep this game right where it's at, minimize the damage, and try to do something special in the bottom half. We've seen great pitching really from both clubs tonight.
Sean Smith up there next. Big cut and a whiff. It has been great pitching by both sides. Dom Vegley right now ticketed to be the losing pitcher if KU doesn't rally, and yet he turned in a quality start with double-digit strikeouts, 10 of them. Now number 3 all-time on the career strikeout list. But the typical Kansas run support has been stymied by an outstanding effort from Max Yale of 8 innings, which matches a season high. The only other time he did that was in Waco. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Smith. Bodie Ray trying to work around that leadoff walk. Get back to the dugout to heat up the sticks, down just 3. He does. Swing and a miss, tag applied, inning over. Bodie Ray continues to deal. Now can Kansas get the bats rolling? Ballinger, Osoria, and Owens come up when we come back in in the bottom of the ninth. Max Yale out for a 9th inning of work. He's already matched his season long of 8 innings pitched at Baylor. He has been tremendous tonight. Just 1 run allowed, 7 strikeouts, 3 of which by Cade Baldridge, one of KU's top hitters. He has been electric. And when you consider the offense he's doing it against and the fact that Kansas hasn't lost at home in league play all year, it makes his night all the more impressive.
Yeah, he's going against a great lineup, left, right, all the way through. And he's battled in different ways. And I love his slider. His cutter is fantastic in the 90s, and his fastball's been great all night. Still living in the low to mid 90s with that heater here in the 9th inning at 103 pitches. And time for the Jayhawks to get going. Brady Ballinger with the best at-bat of the year against K-State to get the team going. And he's going to need to deliver something to try to just get on base against his tough lefty.
Tied up there. Did he swing? They say he did. And Brady Ballinger down in an 0-2 hole. Again, you kind of feel like the best thing that he could do right now would be to work a long at-bat and win the war with a walk, but not the way to do that is falling behind 0-2. He's going to have to really battle from here. Those pitches we've seen him throw all year, Yale was 112 at Texas Tech. Here's his 105th. Skips in. I say that about his best contribution could be a long battle that results in a walk, because I feel like at times tonight Kansas so close they can taste it in terms of a Big 12 clinch. They've been trying so hard at swinging early sometimes. A swing and a miss there for another strikeout, the 8th of the night by Yale, who's been absolutely brilliant.
Went back with the high heater, got it up about chest level, and Ballinger not happy about that previous call on the check swing, but just some nasty pitches, a slider, then that high heater, still 93 miles an hour, great endurance for the lefty, and man, that's just a tough lefty-lefty matchup there.
Now Dariel Osorio. A 1-0 count to Osorio. Jayhawks tonight saw Osorio single in the second. All things told, he's 1 for 3. Ball and a strike now to the Kansas DH. Yeah, I reference some patience, try to find your way on, run the pitch count up, wear him down, because you kind of feel like everybody's been trying to hit the big homer every night tonight, every time they've been up there. Some of that psychologically comes with what they've been hearing about all week. Could this weekend be the clinching weekend, you know? And everybody wants to have their hand in a slice of history. But they've been stymied by this outstanding ace, Max Yale. Foul ball. 2-2 now to Dariel.
I'm right with you 100%, and that's what's so tough about baseball. The harder you really try up there, the more tense you are, and the looser you are, the more rhythm and timing you can have, and that's how Jayhawks play the best, when just loose and on time.
Dariel pops this one up. Foul ground toward the dugout. Is there room? Reaching over the rail, but unable to make the catch is Guzman. Heck of an effort, though.
Hey, Guzman, you're right, not your typical first baseman. He came over there like a center fielder trying to rob it, gave it everything he can. Good effort over there. He's put together pretty well. Looks like a running back.
Indeed. And when he's on the base paths, he looks like Barry Sanders. 2-2 now to Dariel Osorio. This will match the largest pitch count of the year for Yale, and it's fouled off. He's now equaled what he threw at Texas Tech, and we're referencing that because obviously he missed all last season, battling back from Tommy John surgery. This is the longest they've stretched him, both in terms of innings count, 8 1/3, and now pitch count. This next pitch will be a season high. Another foul ball. And again, you just kind of feel like if Darrielle can force him to continue to labor and just find his way on, maybe the door could open just a crack. And I promise you, this crowd would really be alive. There's ball 3. And now the count runs full.
This has been the best at-bat of the game. This is a Jayhawk at-bat, what they've been doing all year long, taking aggressive hacks early, but fighting, hacking, fighting off tough pitches, laying off tough pitches, and Darrielle Osorio seeing his 10th pitch of the at-bat.
Another foul ball by Darrielle. Count is run full. Jayhawk fans are on their feet praying for some kind of rally in the bottom of the 9th inning. Only 1 run of offense tonight. Only 1 run in their last 15 innings. But there's ball 4. And there could be the crack in the door to open things up in the bottom of the 9th. Pitch count at 116. A hard-fought battle with all those foul balls. Darrielle Osorio just delivered a 10-pitch battle that he won. Is it enough to knock Yale out of his groove and lift him from this game? We're going to get a mound visit for West Virginia.
That was a prototypical Jayhawk at bat right there. Great job by Darrielle, and in this situation, that's just as good as a solo home run, and where base runners are crucial. As a coach, your main goal is to get that tying run up to home plate with a chance to do something special, and I think Yale pitched one of the best games of his career. He battled and competed it all night long, and his coach is going to give him a chance to try to finish this game with a full bullpen behind him.
Activity in the Mountaineer bullpen. Will they need Ian Korn? Or will Yale be able to grind out 2 more outs? Can he get Owens to roll one over in what has been his longest outing of the year? First pitch there, in for a strike, top of the zone. Owens tonight for Kansas. An 0 for 3, including a double play ball in which Darrielle Osorio was at first, and he grounded it right side as Fitz whispers something in his ear. That's what Yale's hoping for again. He wants to see Lightning strike twice with the twin killing. But Owens, for the last couple of weeks, has been one of KU's most productive hitters. He's got one of the best coaches in America with some last-minute tutelage here. Now let's see if he can put those words into action. Big home run hack comes up empty. And Yale, after his mound visit, has jumped ahead 0-2.
Couple of good visits. Yale looks like a new guy finds in the strike zone all day, and Owen's going to need to battle. When he's living on the left side of the field, he can be dangerous.
Doesn't take the bait there. It misses outside 1 and 2. We're about to see the 120th pitch of the night for a virtual lock for Big 12 Pitcher of the Week if he hangs on for the win. Little nubber. Owens sprinting down the line. The throw by Kelly in time. And the Jayhawks are down to their final out. Going to second is Osorio. But Yale grinding, battling, 120 pitches deep. Is 1 out away from a complete game. Absolute gem at number 7 Kansas. It would not only give the series opener to his team, but it would thrust the Mountaineers back into the Big 12 title chase. Down 3 with 5 to go. 1 out to go. Mugarieta has other designs. The first pitch misses, 1-0. Augie singled his last time up when the shift was on, and he went against the shift, opposite of it, for a base knock to right. There's a called strike, 1-1. Mungarieta trying to give these Jayhawks another late inning rally and avoid their first loss at home in league play. Ball high, 2-1. If Augie could work another free pass, something that's been tough to come by tonight until Osorio got the second of Yale, you could send the tying run to the bat in the form of Dykhoff, who's been their best home run hitter the last 2 weeks. Swing and a miss, though, and now the Jayhawks are down to their final strike.
I really like what this battery for West Virginia is doing. They're really competing. Max Yale going his longest game, and behind the plate, got to give Gavin Kelly a lot of credit as well. He's blocking everything, and he hops out of there like a cat behind the dish. Those are two of the all-conference players, Augie and definitely Gavin Kelly, two of the better catchers in conference, and I like it here. Give Augie a chance to do something here late and see what he can do to get the timing off of this guy who's just been rolling.
Exactly, and I think that was 99% of the motivation of that conversation. The 2-2 to Mungarieta. Swung on and missed, and West Virginia, behind the brilliance of Max Yale, comes in and knocks off number 7 Kansas. A complete game, 1-run outing. An absolute gem from the ace of West Virginia. 9 Ks, 9 innings, and the Mountaineers claim game 1.
What a baseball game. We saw great pitching from both sides. Max Yale was as good as we've seen all year long. I think Fitz hit it with these are two great teams, two great ace pitchers, and both are going to be pitching a long time. Max Yale just probably had the pitcher of the week in the Big 12 with being able to go a complete game. Love to see that after coming off the injury, and we're going to have a heck of a weekend here at Hoagland Ballpark. Two of the best teams in the conference for the last couple of years, and West Virginia played a perfect game of baseball tonight. Jayhawks come back fighting again tomorrow.
Two of the best teams in the conference, two of the best teams in the country. Round 1 goes to the visitors from Morgantown. They win at 4-1. Game 2 will come your way tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here on ESPN+. West Virginia trying to return the favor for what Kansas did a year ago in their house. They take the opener. Max Yale with a career night. Absolutely brilliant, outshining the double-digit strikeout line of Dominic Vagley and spoiling KU's perfect Big 12 home record. Hawks now 12-1 at Hoagland Ballpark in league play. We'll see you tomorrow, Kansas and West Virginia on ESPN+.